Oh, shit, I forgot my mic was on. I'm just getting some stuff set up. 1 second. Hi, everyone. It's been a while. Actually, it hasn't been that long. I just streamed not that long ago. But I am back. I'm going to start this off right now. Right now, we're starting off this chat with a poll. This is the beginning. This poll is going to stay up the whole fucking night. I'm not doing anything else. This whole stream, that's staying up. I want everyone to vote in it. Right now, okay? It's been a bit of a week. For me, at least, it's been a bit of a week. I'm not necessarily... Things aren't necessarily going the best, if we're going to be totally honest here, right? Like, things are... They're not the best, okay? Is gaming fucked forever? Answer, more than likely, yes. There's a lot to go over, man. I mean, if you're here, you already know what's going on. In case any of you... Should I start from the beginning? Gillen, get a poll from the chat. Should I just go into bitching, or should you want me to get, like, a pretense to what's going on? Do you want me to go... Do you want a repeat of the facts? Do you want me to give you a repeat of the facts, or do you want to just get right into me going insane? I mean, I could fuck around all day on this. By the way, I do have my, I have a Donkey Kong Bonanza superfan. I might have to pull this shit up. Recap. Tell the folks the whole story. Tell the whole story. I don't want to wait a year for cheap models. I'm gonna be honest for you, okay? There's a lot going on here, and I want to get right into this. First, I gotta pull up this funny image someone made, though. In my dedicated AI dude who makes AI images of me made something. I'm gonna make this quick. Let's see something quick. And you know, someone on the board. There's a couple people on the board who are excited for, and they're gonna be disappointed in me because they're excited for Donkey Kong Bonanza. And I'm not. Let me get this. Let him like live over in the corner here for now. This weird fucking creation. Why is he so tiny? Why is he like down behind like the fucking... Where is he? He's like underneath like a couch. He's like a little tiny fucking monkey. I understand. This is a weird perspective on this one. I don't know if I like this, but I appreciate it. Thank you for saying to me. Donkey Kong is all King of Pole's fault. It must be Donkey Kong Jr. Listen, as the world's strongest Donkey Kong fan, I'm not a fan of Donkey Kong Bonanza. It was King of Pole's suggestion to Nintendo. They actually listened. The GameCube NSO lamp is great to think Eternal Darkness and Gotcha Force. They need fucking Melee. Sorry, they need Melee. And what else do they need? I don't know. I remember there being a lot of good GameCube games. They need, like... There's a good variety of GameCube games that just aren't going to be on there. So, I mean, I can go through my GameCube collection right now. And I guarantee you, whatever they're going to have, it'll... I don't care. We're going back to the beginning. We're going to start from the beginning on this. So, in case you didn't see the news this week, which it probably isn't going to be anymore. Probably going to be more expensive now. Although, maybe not, because the Vietnam tariffs are getting dropped, apparently. Because Vietnam's scrambling to negotiate with DUP to drop their tariffs against America. Switch 2 announcement stream this week. Lots of people were excited, and by the presentation of the stream, I got excited during the Direct too, but I was actually already disappointed before I even saw the praise. I was really excited for a lot of games. This was like, to be fair, I've been fucking out of gaming, just as a little bit of background. I've been out of gaming. I've been tired of gaming. I mean, I played Metaphor last year, and I played Space Marine 2, but like gaming's been shit for like almost over a year for me, and I just have not had any energy or like desire to go back into playing video games. We meet again, a funny man. Nintendo took Dup by the sign, took him. They ruined JD Vance election campaign. Hey, Surfer. Hey, everyone in the chat. It's good to see everyone tonight. But we don't have time to be fun in games here, guys. So they announced the Switch 2. They've got all the fucking big games. They're bringing out all 2 new video games. Oh, what's this shit? This is too happy. I need to go dark for this. There we go. 2 new Nintendo games announced. There's one From Software game, which frankly I don't give a shit about. From Software sucks ass. Their games are shit. Go jerk off Hidetaka Miyazaki later, faggots. I'm not interested in From Software at all. I don't have any desire to play that game, the fucking Dustboard. But essentially, 2 games. Mario World, Super Mario Kart World, and Donkey Kong Bonanza. Those are the 2 new Switch games. They announced a bunch of fucking DLC, basically. 4 Nintendo games? I don't recall there being 4 Nintendo games. Oh, fucking Metroid. I'm not counting Metroid Prime 4 because the paid demo on Kirby Air Riders. That's Kirby Air Ride, but that doesn't even have like a trailer. They didn't show the gameplay of that, so I don't count it. And we don't know when that's coming out. And that paid demo also does not count. It's not a real video game. Metroid Prime 4 was shown off, and that's coming for Switch 1 though. It's not just Switch. That's not a Switch 2 game. That's a Switch 1 game. So it doesn't count. Exclusive for Switch 2. The new Switch 2 games for the Switch 2 are 2 games: Mario Kart World and Donkey Kong Bonanza. So the success of this console at this point now rests on these 2 games looking and being good for me. And I was fully prepared to buy a Switch 2. I was planning for it in my budget. I'm like, how am I going to afford this? This is coming up soon. You know, I was excited it's going to be in June. People were saying it might be in May. It's like, I want to be able to save up and have this Switch 2 because when is the From Slop dropping? I don't know. SRJX is not trapped in online subscription jail. You can just download the game off the Internet Archive and play it on Dolphin online right now. Which, by the way, the Dustbugs looks like shit. It's PvPvE. It's fucking online MMO, basically. You don't even, there's no character creation. It's like a hero. It's the FromSoft equivalent of Overwatch. Just so you're aware, this is FromSoft's take on Overwatch. I just want you to understand that. It is not a character. There's no character creation. You get to pick a bunch of different fucking vampires you get to play, and you go around killing each other and enemies. It is literally Overwatch by FromSoft. It's not a fucking good video game. It's gonna be slop. It's gonna be trapped. Backlog and tabletop are more than enough for me. Maybe that's true, but you know what? Maybe tabletop is garbage too. We can get into fucking Trench Crusade and how that looks like shit too, guys. Sorry, everything's shit. Wake up. Every gaming thing is shit. Video games, tabletop games, it's all shit. We need to fucking start agreeing that things are shit and stop fucking supporting it. That's all I'm gonna say. Aren't you excited for the GameCube? And we're like, Blowbacks, no, because I have a GameCube, and my GameCube works fine. I have a GameCube and I have a Wii. I don't need to fucking play this game. I have a fucking flippy drive coming in. I'll be able to put any GameCube game I want on my GameCube. Why? I'm excited for the GameTooth Bluetooth controller, the GameCube Bluetooth controller. I'm excited for that. I'm excited to buy that. I'll probably buy a GameCube Bluetooth controller because probably it may not work on Switch 1, but it'll probably work on PC. I can just play that on PC. That looks pretty cool. Thank you. Dolphin's been around here forever. I'm very excited that I have not seen the Minecraft movie, by the way. I'm going to see it. But we need to get back on the fucking subject, because otherwise I'm going to go insane. So Switch 2, okay, already, and we haven't even gotten to the price. I will get to the price, but we have to go, before we even get to that, during the Direct itself, I have to listen to these fucking people, and they have the new fucking Mario Kart game, and when I first saw the Mario Kart game, I was like, this looks pretty good. It's open world, it's like Forza Horizon, but Mario Kart, you go from one track to the next. You know, like when one course ends, you can immediately drive to the next track, and you start driving there. Awesome, that looks like a great idea for a Mario Kart game. You got fucking rail grinding, wall jumping, You know, I think the characters look a little bit weird. The graphics aren't amazing, but the whole thing's an open world. You know, it's like Forza Horizon. But Mario Kart sounds like a fun evolution of the series. But Google, do you agree Mario's taking the throne as best ever? I mean, wow, you are not the best at the least worst, right? I'm sorry, like Emma, all the Emmas are in the shit. Like, sorry. 90% of the people that boycott Switch will buy Mario Kart World and Donkey Kong Kino Anza. No, we actually aren't. We are not buying this because, first of all, let's start with Mario Kart World before we get to the price. First of all, the Mario Kart World isn't even what they fucking advertise in the trailers. If you watch, I don't know if people aren't watching the Treehouse shit, but I have. I've watched the gameplay demos they've done for these games. I have seen the gameplay of Mario Kart World. It's fucking stupid. The whole point of having an open world Mario Kart is that at the end of the race, you drive to the next race, right? That's not what fucking happens. You finish the one race, everyone resets to their position at the start line of the first race, and then you drive to the second race, and then they do the race there. If you're gonna reset the position every single track, right after the finish of every single track, why the fuck would you not just start me on the next track? Why do I have to waste time driving in between tracks if I have to? If the game comes to a full stop at the end of the fucking first race, right? And resets me back to a different position. And then why the fuck would it make me then drive from one course to the other? Why would it not just put me in the next course? Is that for real? Yes, have you not seen the gameplay? No one's watching the gameplay of these games. This is the regular Grand Prix. By the way, this is the regular Grand Prix. This is not the knockout thing. The knockout thing is different, and I've seen gameplay of that looks a little bit closer to what I'm talking about. But that's, like, you go through, like, 4 or 5 tracks, and you just keep racing until you fall off. It's like fucking Battle Royale style. It's a totally different thing than regular Grand Prix. In the regular Grand Prix mode, you have to stop at the end of the race. You all get reset at the beginning lap of that first race thing, and then you drive to the next race. And then you start the race there once you drive there. So, like, why? So the next track is just like a very long straight stretch of road and then the actual race. It's so fucking stupid. The knockout thing doesn't have reset. You're right. That's true. But that's super long and you get dropped off at the bottom, right? So if you don't do good, you get knocked out, right? The regular Grand Prix mode, which is the main mode of Mario Kart, by the way, is shit. It's just stupid. What's the point? Either have it where I go from one course to the next course immediately, or have it when I beat the first course, I drive to the second course. And then I start from there. And then everyone gets a chance to catch up. And then you have some sections on a straightaway where you're driving in between tracks where, like, people get catch up. It's just, what are they thinking? Really? What is the fucking, They probably didn't design the tracks to loop. The tracks are designed to loop. That's the thing. They're supposed to go down, and then you stop, and then you go off, and you go to the next track, right? That's how it goes. I just don't. It's just so simple. Forza Horizon did this. It's so simple. My blood pressure's too high. Yeah, it is. That's fair. Tell my fucking doctor about that. Are these just coasts because you're trying to grab the man-child phase and lose the interest for gaming? No, the games are getting worse. The games are just worse. Let's stop and think. Games are just more expensive and worse now, and that's objectively true. Okay? Do you want to know why I know this to be true? Because the only games children are playing are the fucking free ones and the cheap ones. On, like, fucking phones and PC. So this is not because of kids. The major target audience for these video games is not children. It is adults. Don't kid yourself. Despite the marketing and the hype, the majority of people buying these video games are adults. Young adults between like 20 and 30. Actual children are playing Fortnite, Minecraft, and like Roblox. They're not stupid enough to spend fucking whatever much money, which I'm not even getting to the money yet, on shit. They have Switches. Kids have Switches, but they play Fortnite and Minecraft on them. Maybe they will play Mario Kart. Games should get worse. So let's look at Mario Kart. Mario Kart, and by the way, the graphics on Mario Kart World look like shit. And it's not because of fidelity. The actual textures are high resolution, right? I mean, if you compare like the resolution to them is like whatever. The problem is the art direction on the character models I actually like. I think a lot of them look quite nice. Some of them look bad, but the character models and like look fine. But the karts don't look good. The karts are like too bouncy and cartoony. They don't like have enough mechanical feel to them. And the ground textures on the racetracks just look terrible. They're all just like very flat surfaces. There's no like bumps, and they don't look like a proper road. They look like a texture put on a thing. They look closer in quality to the mobile tracks from the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Pass than the actual Mario Kart 8 Deluxe courses. The cow is cool. The hamburger is cool. I don't care. The cow character is fine. I don't care about the characters that are in it because I'm not a baby. It's a fucking racing game. Frankly, also, the problem with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe selling so well as it did is that it's made like the entire Mario franchise revolve around Mario Kart as the central pillar. When Mario Kart is a spin-off game, it's the equivalent, in my mind still, to like Mario Party. Like, it's a fucking side dish. It's not that important. It's like, well, you know, it's a little bit of like, everyone likes it. It's a fun party game for everyone to play together, but it's not the main draw to your system. Mario 3D platformer is, not Mario Kart. Facts. Moving on. Cartoon the cow grinding the electrical wires. That's fine. I'm okay with that, but the actual cars look bad in the game is what I'm saying. And if the game wants to be cartoony, that's fine, but then they need to commit. Then the world has to look cartoony too. And the world and the environments don't look cartoony. They look very drab and bland. They don't excite me. Now, someone talking about Donkey Kong. Let's move on to Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong, the game. The new Donkey Kong Bonanza game. First of all, the new Donkey Kong design looks terrible. Get this out of the way. I don't like subjective. Right, it's subjective opinion. I think that the new design is less expressive than the old one. It's got less of it's less exciting. It just looks boring compared to the old one. It has less, animation style than the other one. No, the new Donkey Kong design doesn't look good, but I can forgive that. I actually don't mind them doing something different, and this is something I want to. British people design the old one. That's fine. Don't care. I love British people. Frankly, I do. But the thing is, the new Donkey Kong design could be terrible, and it would still be fine if the game was good. It doesn't really matter. It's just a fucking character design. And I will say this, I'm not even opposed to changing Donkey Kong's design. I think you could change Donkey Kong's design. This would be a great time to do it. I think you could definitely do it and make it work. And make it work good. The problem is just this design doesn't look good, and specifically this character model looks really bad. The amount of clipping, I'm gonna pull up the gameplay. We have to pull up the gameplay of Donkey Kong Bonanza because there's some stuff I've seen in this that shocks me to my core that people are defending this game. And it's not just the graphics. We have to talk about the gameplay. And I'm probably not gonna play any audio from this. I'm just gonna, because the audio and the music sounds like shit. By the way, the music sounds like boring fucking crap. So not surprised by that. By the way, Nintendo of America took down all their fucking replays of their Treehouse shit because everyone realized it looks like ass. Where is it? Here we go. And I've watched this whole thing, by the way, so I'm not just coming at it from like with like no experience. I'll turn down my volume on this a little bit so we can get in here. And then I want to go into my rant about price after this, but I do want to talk about this next. That's funny. I forgot that I made that. This the poster thing. That's funny. You can just live out there. We need to talk about this game and how bad it looks. So, okay. First of all, let's take a look at Donkey Kong's actual character model. Right here. First of all, why does he always look wet? The textures look terrible. Begin with, like, just straight up off the bat, the textures just look like shit. Let me move the chat so I can see you guys. That is a good DK design. Who cares about consequences when Steam Tails exists? Doesn't matter. He's just sweaty, bro. First of all, furred animals don't sweat. I know because I have dogs. My dog does not sweat. He pants when he's hot. So I guess maybe people can get greasy. They can be greasy. And listen, I like some of his facial animations on this. I will give credit where credit is due. I like some of the facial animations, but I'm going to have to talk shit about this game because you have to fucking stop back and look at this fucking shit. First of all, we have to talk about the environments. I mean, obviously, people will cherry pick low quality textures in video games and talk about how bad these games look. And I'm going to do that because, I mean, look, this rock texture is actually just fucking shit. It just looks like embarrassingly bad. Like, this is worse than PS2 level graphics. And I will give them credit. It's a physics object. It's a fully destructible physics object. Most of the game levels are fully destructible physics objects. And the lighting, you're right, Trifox, the lighting is very bad. But I don't want to compare this game too heavily to, like, you know, PlayStation games. But to be fair, this is significantly worse looking than Mario Odyssey in, like, every way. Both in terms of graphical fidelity and art direction. This is an extremely ugly level. And obviously we're only seeing a couple levels of this game about... Looks a lot like Odyssey. I'm sorry. We're gonna pull this up. I'm just gonna go back to my main thing so I can actually... We're gonna pull up Odyssey because you're fucking wrong. Because this is a beach level. Technically it's like an undersea. I think I don't even hate I don't even hate like the visual like idea of this level. I think it's a nice idea for a level. So you're trapped under sea. I like the idea of this being like a Hollow Earth thing. Cool ideas, but like we actually need to compare like Mario Odyssey to this game because you're fucking insane if you think this game looks anything like this. Okay. Let me pull up some clips here. Okay. Okay. Got this pulled up. And apologies for the delay on this, by the way. I'm juggling with less monitors than I probably should be doing to do this. Okay, so I've got Hot Spring Island here from this fucking Mario Odyssey's beach level, which I think is a very good comparison because they're both... This level is actually probably smaller than the Donkey Kong level, so... but they're both big, wide levels with lots of focus on water and, like, beaches and rocks and shit, right? Look at the art direction here. Look at the fucking art direction here and compare this to fucking... I take that back, it looks better than Odyssey, fuck you. They used the cell shading code. This isn't cell shaded though. Cell shading doesn't look like this. This is not cell shaded. Cell shading looks nothing like this. I want you to actually compare this. Like, I'm okay with the textures being low quality, by the way. I don't mind. You can have low quality textures in your game. You can have a game look like low polygon. You can make it look good, but this is visually ugly and uninspired art design. This looks like this. It's this yellow grass shit that was in Tears of the Kingdom, right? It's not unique. It looks like shit. I think these like glowing gold like shit looks. I don't know, something about the way this looks and plays reminds me of like Skylanders in a very bad way. I think the way like you break things just looks very cheap. I mean, especially we're living in a post Minecraft era, like. Minecraft art direction, bro. Like, that's the thing. Like, Minecraft has way better destruction physics than this, right? Obviously, like, you can break blocks fucking everywhere, and everything's a block in that game. But like, so much of this is so like the chunks in this game that you break apart are so much bigger. And more passion and enthusiasm for monkeying than anything in the real world. I don't disagree. I don't agree with that. I'm very upset about this. But we need to get to these fucking blue monkeys. I'm sorry. No one seems to be talking about the horrible, fucking, ugly abominations that are these fucking blue monkeys. This is fucking horrible. We need to stop and really actually look at how bad this looks right now. Who the fuck okayed the Troon monkey? Who okayed the Troon Diddy Kong? I'm sorry, blue hair with the green dye? What is this? What is this fucking abomination? I'm so sorry. This is terrible. I like monkeys, by the way. DK has feathers. Yeah, listen, what is this fur texture? It looks so bad. And it's not just this fur texture, right? We gotta open up this gameplay here too, because if you get a good close-up look at his fur thing, like in the cutscenes, first of all, you can see up inside into the hollow emptiness, but that's underneath the fur texture of like the skeleton model in this. There's just like nothing up there, right? Because this just looks like shit. And then there's this. I want you to look very closely right here at this fucking stage of the game. His fur, this is the first cutscene of the game, one of the first cutscenes, by the way. His fur is clipping into his fucking hands. Do you see this shit? What are they doing? This is a fucking billion-dollar company selling us a game that costs $70 US, and we're getting fucking the spiky fur that looks ugly, which they could have just had like a short hair fur that would look just fine, clipping into his fucking hands. What? What? You just... What are we doing? What the fuck are we doing, Nintendo? And I can forgive all the graphical and visual issues. Looks better than AAA slop. I forgive all of that if we can't just accept the fact that this game looks fucking boring. Okay? What am I doing? Oh, I break the ground. What do I do? What are the gameplay mechanics that come from that? I can break stuff and then it makes it harder or easier to reach fucking platform. There's like no platforming challenge or thought behind any of this. It is brain dead nonsense. Like, okay, I have to pick up certain things to break other things. There's no complexity. Like, this is like, if we're just coming from the Mario Odyssey team, Mario Odyssey had great 3D platforming segments. There are parts in that game that were extremely difficult that you had to pull off very tight, precise jumps in a very specific way, right? It's very control heavy. It was very explorative, you know. Obviously, this is very supposed to be like, oh, you explore, you look around for the shit. But like, at the core of that was a fun platforming challenge, right? The platforming here doesn't look exciting. Does not look fun. Like, what am I actually doing in this game? I'm going around collecting stuff and doing 3D platformers, right? But the way 3D platforms work is that you create these big levels, and then getting from point A to point B. Instead of going from point A to point B, you go point A to B, C, D, E, F, G. And along the way, to get X banana, right, you have to complete this platforming challenge. Or you have to, like, solve this puzzle, right? And maybe things will get better in the later levels. But if you compare this to Mario Odyssey in its first level had a lot of cool and interesting gameplay things right off the bat. There was no bullshitting around. You figure out the controls, and then you're doing jumps, you're jumping between things, you're capturing enemies, and you're going into them to use their abilities, right? At least it's better than Donkey Kong 64. Dude, Donkey Kong 64 looks better than this gameplay-wise. Sorry, it just does. It doesn't look... I mean, Donkey Kong 64 has a lot of issues. Let's not kid ourselves. But there's a segment in here where they go... This is the thing. Here's we go. This is the segment I want us all to watch together. Because here we have a very classic Mario trope where you're in a big level, right? And then you go into a smaller level to do a platforming challenge. Switch was a bad console. No, the Switch was not a bad console. Don't delude yourself. The Nintendo Switch 1 was a good console. Considering what they had, right, I think it actually achieved a lot. It said a lot of things. Obviously, the PC handhelds are better now. But for what it was pretty unique at the time and had a great form factor, a lot of very good games designed around it. They made lemons out of lemonade. I mean, lemonade out of lemons. This is them making lemons out of lemonade, right? What is the actual challenge of this segment here? You hang upside down. You don't have to hold the button to hang on, right? Oh no, these things might come in and might push you around, right? Like, look, okay. You just go through the holes. You punch the enemies, and all you need to do is give DK gun. These things doesn't even knock you off when you hit it. You just get pushed around by it, right? You just walk from that to B. There was no challenge to that whatsoever. There's not even like a thing. He just essentially, if you take away him hanging upside down, he just walked from point A to point B, beat up an enemy, and he got the banana. That was the entirety of this standalone platforming segment. This platforming challenge segment. It's supposed to set the tone for the whole game in the first level, by the way. It's only the first world, right? Yeah, this is all we're seeing is the first world. It's actually the first stage of the first world. Because your guests are going further and further underground the more you go. Which I don't know if that's a great idea, because the level designs so far are pretty uninspired. And I'm not super excited for the rest I'm going to see. But, yeah, this is level 1. But the reality is, if you compare this to like a Mario 1 level, yeah, the Mario 1 levels are easy. But there is still a thing you're supposed to do. You are still doing something. You still have to jump from this platform to this platform. There may be something to catch underneath, but you're still required to do stuff to build your skills as a platformer. Jumping seems to not matter in this game. Moving around, movement doesn't seem to really matter in this game at all. Breaking shit seems to matter. And breaking and digging bricks seems to matter, and throwing things and stuff. The actual movement mechanics do not seem to get you anywhere. This, and I understand that the game may get better later, right? But I'm not on board with a game being boring and so fucking mind-numbingly easy that it is like that for me for the majority of the game. Alright, this looks like a fucking mess. Bob and Battlefield was too easy. No, because Bob and Battlefield require you to jump up a whole fucking mountain. You have to dodge boulders, you have to go up shit. From getting from the beginning of Bob and Battlefield, you have to get to the top, and there's multiple ways you can do it, right? There is no goal other than you move from this thing at the top down to here, and you break the shit. And the reality is the obstacles there's nothing really in his way stopping him from just going over there. There's nothing. This new Donkey Kong can't even sing and dance. He actually can't sing and dance. That's incorrect. There's a part here where he sings. What is it? Here he sings.
Come on, DK, use that entire brain of yours. We figured out a way to do this thing.
How is such a good console compared to the competition? It had games.
Not both.
Yeah. So.
Aww.
Also, the hideous mono eye thing that he has, like fucking Sonic the Hedgehog.
No,
kill it. Just kill it with fire, man. I'm just gonna be honest.
Cutest dancing rock you've ever seen.
What Switch had is video games. What made it good compared to the competition? What made the Switch 1 work as a competition? It was for one, it's portable. So you can take it while you're shitting, right? You can take it on a train, take it on a plane, right? And it played games up to about the 360 or maybe a little bit into early PS4 level of performance. What made it better than a PS4 or an Xbox One, which was for half of its life cycle, its competition. What made the Switch better than those consoles was game library, portability, and affordability, actually. No, it wasn't more affordable back then. The PS4 was cheap as shit back then. What am I saying? I'm retarded. Excuse me, but I want to go into affordability later because affordability is actually a key point of why Switch was successful. The game is have no reference to Rare, by the way. There's no reference to Rare, whatever. There's Cranky Kong, I think, in this shit. But that's about all you're gonna get. There's gonna be no Diddy. There's no Dixie. Donkey Kong doesn't matter. By the way, also, why is Donkey Kong so small? He's tiny. He's so fucking small in this game. I don't understand why. Donkey Kong's supposed to be a big gorilla, but he's like so short. He's like manlited. They've like manlitified Donkey Kong, right? Anyways, what was I saying? Like, oh wow, something about these like golden chunks that you pick up just looks so visually unappealing to me. They look horrible. I mean, it's really fucking horrible. So you look at this segment here, all right? There's a banana down there, and you hit the thing, and you bring the banana up, and then you go get the banana. Right? And that's it. Like, that's not... Oh yeah, compare the water texture to this, to Mario Odyssey's water texture. This is a... By the way, this is an 8-year-old video game, this Mario Odyssey water texture, right? The water texture in this game makes the brand new game, from assumingly the same team, look miles worse. This looks significantly better in like every way. This is an actual physical... I don't think the actual texture isn't great, but there's an actual physical like movement of the water. Two games does not make a console, people. That's true. Odyssey does have some really easy moons. That's true. The problem is what I've seen from the Donkey Kong footage, it's all easy moons. There's no moons that are like anything difficult. All of the shit I'm seeing here is just you break the blocks. Like, what's the gameplay innovation of the Mario Odyssey? You transform into different stuff. What's the hook of the gameplay? The gameplay hook in this is that you break stuff. And it's the same team. Have they only shown the tutorial level? No, this is not the tutorial level. This is the first main level in the game, this yellow thing, right? And really, if you could, I want you to actually compare Mario Odyssey start to this. Because Mario Odyssey started off way better than this and way more interesting than this. The challenges were more interesting, it was more engaging on you, there were puzzles to solve, there were shit to figure out, and hopefully there'll be puzzles to solve in this game and stuff, and, you know, stuff where you have to use your head, and maybe that'll happen later, but as it stands right now, this doesn't have that. This compares to feel more like Kirby and the Forgotten Land to me than it does fucking Mario. It's a significant step down, like, complexity, and visual style, too. Like, it looks visually worse. Oh, shit. One thing I will give this game is I do like the idea that this is like a underwater thing. Like, the sky textures look great. This is a great sky texture, right? Where like this whole thing is like flowing down, right? Like this flow of water, you know, like they're underwater, right? They're on the seafloor. Obviously at that ghost level, this is the dinosaur world. This is similar to the dinosaur world in Odyssey. And to me, the dinosaur world is infinitely more exciting and fun to play than this looks to play. This looks really boring and fucking lame. And importantly, we gotta get onto the real shit here. Is this fucking faggot and a bunch of other faggots I'm seeing online? I don't pay $20 for Switch 1 games. That's fair. I can understand that. But there were good Switch 1 games, right? There were things that made the Switch 1 a good console, right? At the time especially, because Steam Deck wasn't out. Most of the big PC handhelds weren't out yet. If you wanted to play like a console-level game on the go, the Switch was that. It was that for the first time ever. And that was exciting. I mean, before that, the handheld of choice, the best handheld on the market was like the Vita, right? And the Vita is a great system, by the way. I love the PS Vita. I also like the 3DS a lot, but the PS Vita is a great system. But the Switch is significantly more powerful than a Vita, and it produces a different level of games than a PS Vita. And we can all agree with that. Like, a Switch, if you only had a PS Vita, you would be missing out on so much in gaming. If you only have a Switch, you can actually still have a reasonable relationship with, like, modern AAA gaming. It's not perfect. You're missing out on most of the good shit, and the game's gonna look and run really badly compared to most stuff. But you could have just a Nintendo Switch and have that be your only console and be fine. As a child, especially, if you were a kid, you know, compared to like the 3DS or the DS or any of these other handhelds, right? You just can't do that. You could have just a Switch, and you don't have to have you be played on the go, and it works fine. PC handhelds are immune. The camera just clipped through the map. Oh, wait, hold on. I forgot something to show you in the Donkey Kong stuff. There's some stuff in the Donkey Kong shit I do have to show you before we move on. Because there's some stuff I do want to talk about with this. Because it's pissed me off. There's some stuff. Where's the fucking grass, fucking shadows? That really upset me. I was like, this is fucking abysmal. And you have to forgive me because I have to comb through this to get what I'm looking at. Yeah, here it is. We need to look at the fucking shadows in this game and the lighting. This is a brand new, the first game to show off the power. The normal levels look. Maybe it was YDK shiny. This is supposed to show off the power and the performance of a brand new system that's going to cost you, which I'll get to into the price after this. But it's supposed to be, look at that. This is supposed to be like the showcase. There should never be fucking shadow popping that bad in the same camera frame that close to you. It just should not happen. That should never happen. This is embarrassing. This is so embarrassing. What are we doing here? You have history on a personality disorder if you think the Switch 1 is good. You can have a different opinion than me on this, but I don't care. I don't buy into that different opinion bullshit. Fuck you. Switch 1 succeeded as a system because it was a good idea at the right price point for the right audience at the right time. Right? Can I get some like dark forbidden? Vita's a meme. PC handhelds are a meme. Sector Radio, frankly, dude, I've made my point. You have not made your point why the Switch 1 is bad. I've explained my point. If you want to tell me why you think the Switch 1 is bad, give me some concrete reasons or refute my points. Otherwise, get your ass out of here. Defend Switch 1 for real. I just did. PSP Gen 1 looks fine to look at. It's a quality handheld that has good exclusives. It does have good exclusives, by the way. There are games that are for just Switch 2. I mean, there's just Nintendo Switch, not Switch 2. But just Nintendo Switch that are very good games. Mario Odyssey is a great game. Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom are great games. I'm trying to think of the other good ones. But the thing is, that's 3 games, which is more than like the PS4 and the Xbox have. The Xbox and the PS4, which are its contemporaries, and the Series X and the PS5, by the way, they've got maybe, like, in terms of exclusive games that run on just that, they've got maybe, like, 2 or 3 games that go between them. Monster Hunter Rise was pretty good, but that's not exclusive anymore. There's a Monkey Sister. I haven't seen this stuff. There's good... No games, not true. If you compare, especially if you compare it to the past consoles, you may be right. But if you compare it to contemporaries, it definitely objectively has more exclusives that are good than its contemporaries. Too expensive. Maybe when it launched, but the Switch Lite's cheap. Switch Lite's $200. Just gonna say that. Cheap breakable parts, shifty graphics. Some games run great. Some games run excellently. I would also say the 2D Zeldas that have come out for Switch are good, and I'm trying to think of the good Switch games. This is embarrassing because I can't think of them off the top of my head. Mostly because I'm tired. I'm mad. Oh, fuck. One of the villains in the Bonanza trailer is a straight up ratchet black woman with blonde hair and a weave. Okay, we gotta look at the Bonanza trailer. We're gonna go back and look at this trailer. And here's the thing, all these levels don't look good. They all have the same, like, rocky chunk texture shit that this game has. It's like blue-green 4 shit. The art on that looks bad. It looks muddy, looks messy. I could go through my Switch games and actually pick out the good ones. But you're right, I am struggling to figure this out. Maybe I've been blinded. Maybe I'm a fucking retard. I'm willing to admit that I'm stupid and I'm wrong. Oh, Smash Ultimate. Yeah, Smash Ultimate's great. Fire Emblem 3 Houses is great. Astral Chain is definitely great. Animal Crossing New Horizons is not good. Splatoon 2 and 3 are good. Luigi's Mansion 3 is actually a great game. I love Luigi's Mansion 3. It's a fucking great game. Oh, it's just coming to me now, obviously. Pikmin 4 was great. Bayonetta 3 was really good too, and Bayonetta Legends. Here's what I don't like. Okay, I want you to look at this. Here's my problem with this Donkey Kong shit. First of all, another thing I don't like about this one, the animations on him are so choppy looking. I understand it's supposed to be like a style thing, like a 2D animation style thing, I think, where it's like, you know, starts and stops suddenly, but it looks really ugly and bad. I think it's a terrible artistic choice that they made. The gold ingots shit that he picks up are really annoying looking and annoy me. I don't like the way it hurts my eyes to look at. This is visually unappealing. The enemy designs look terrible. The enemy designs are all these rock things. They don't look good to me. Look at this. Oh wow, it's a 2D level. That's just fucking sad. I'm sorry, I'd rather be playing... How can people look at that and compare that to like Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze, right? Which came out on the Wii U over a decade ago. That looks significantly better than that. Just saying. And I know it's a 2D game, not a 3D, but... I just don't. This looks bad. So these are the villains. This is where we see the Donkey Kong sister. Whatever. Oh, this one. Just... Oh, she got a weave in. She got her weave in sister. That looks stupid. This villain design looks stupid. I don't like this at all. I don't think it looks good. Nah. DK's way too quirked up. Shit. By the way, if people have been in the fucking whatever. Oh, if people have been trying to call in or anything, I'm sorry. I have not been checking. If people have been trying to call in, whoops, my browser might be preventing calls from ringing. I should be able to get calls still. The call line is active, by the way, so if people want to call in, you can. Does Google play Souls games or say from Tarkov is always only continue turning? I don't like Souls games. My serious games I play that are like big boy games. I like Space Marine 2. I like the Yakuza games. I like I don't know. Take ivermectin and Heartguard twice a week. Isn't Heartguard for dogs? Just have to manage Risk get on. If Risk wants to get on, he can get on. Just, you know, join the Collins general chat, by the way. Just join. Yeah, I don't like playing a lot of, like, shooter, like, serious, you know, games. But, you know, and most of those types of games are, like, bullshit anyways. I don't know. Dwarf Fortress. I like playing RPGs. I like playing, like, you know, CRPGs and shit like that sometimes. Yakuza 7 to 8. I'm only on Yakuza 1 right now. I'm not going to pretend like I'm an amazing Yakuza fan. I really want to play Like a Dragon. The Switch doesn't even use the full gamut of HDR. Ha! I didn't even know that. Okay. So all of this aside, the two main games that they showed off don't even look good. And I'm going to show off, actually, I want to show that I'm not fucking with you regarding the Mario Kart thing, right? Because I don't want you to think I'm, like, lying to you, that I'm, like, bullshitting you, because I'm not. So on the end of this race, this is you finish this lap. This is you finishing the first race in Mario Kart World, right? I haven't even bitched about the price yet. What afflictions? I don't know. You're not my doctor, but I will. Maybe I'll take ivermectin. Maybe it's not a bad idea. But Hardcore's not cheap, dude. Just so you know, it's not cheap shit. It's also for heartworm prevention, not for whatever the fuck you're talking about. Now we go next race. So it makes you stop. The game stops. It pulls up a loading screen like this. and then resets every fucking person back to the starting line of the first race. And now we're in the second race. And we're doing a rolling start here, which is a bit different. I mean, a rolling start's kind of cool. And you just got fucked by not doing the boost. And now you got to go on this drive between the tracks, which I'm just going to skip ahead through, which is like its own little fucking race thing, I guess. Yeah, driving in a straight line, what the fuck? It's a track between tracks, but more boring. Yes, exactly. And the whole point of this idea, the whole reason why this game doesn't look like a fucking amazing blow your balls out game, because it's supposed to be open world, right? And technically there are modes where you can drive like this between the tracks and go between all the tracks in the game, right? Like Forza fucking Horizon is the idea. Yet here we are, we're driving around, we're driving into the tracks, like this, and does this count in the Grand Prix? I don't know. Course ahead, whatever the fuck it says. And there's some things I like appreciate the physics when you get hit or better. I do like some of the kart designs, they're nice. Wow, you finished, now you're first. Getting to the track. Yo, is that grinding? Yeah, there's fucking rail grinding, which I think is cool. I think the idea of the rail grinding is cool. I think the idea of the wall jumping in the tracks is cool. And now, again, we just drive between the tracks. Wait, that's the whole thing? You just drove in a straight line and you did like one lap of the track? I'm sorry, do we do like, how many laps of the track did we do? It's like one lap, right? Am I wrong to say that? I didn't skip ahead and miss the fucking them getting like doing the whole track, right? Like that, they just did one lap. So there's just one fucking lap of these fucking tracks, and the rest you just drive between, right? It says 3-3 at the bottom. Where's 1-3? Where's 2-3? So the map changes when you get to the track. What? This is even more baffling. So not only do you have to drive between the tracks on basically just straight lines, right? Then you get to the track and it zooms in, and this is the actual course, and you do just one lap of the actual course. Yeah, it's definitely driving between the tracks, because if you look at the start, if you look at the end, where was I? No, the map is not just 3 separate tracks. Look. So, okay, look. This is the end of the last track, right? This is where the last track ended, which is a loop, regular loop course, right? And then you drive, and then you end up what appears to be the Crown City track, right? And now, between this track, you end up at whatever the fuck this racetrack is, which is, and then you're supposed to at the end up at DK Spaceport. And again, same thing. Oh, look, there's 2 of 8. So the first track you do 3 laps. Then this one you do a straightaway, and then you do like fucking 5 laps, whatever, of the last one. What? And I mean, I like this track design. This track design looks fun. You're jumping the rails, you're driving between them, right? It's very different. It's unique it's different change from Mario Kart gameplay wise, but there's actual gameplay innovation in the course design. But there's just baffling decisions here. It's bafflingly stupid. And the thing is, even if this was a fucking great leap from Nintendo, great. This game should still cost about fucking $60, but it doesn't cost 60 fucking dollars. It costs 80 US fucking dollars, which we all know. It's been the big issue. This looks like a racing game. $80 US fucking dollars for that game. What about that game? Looks like it's worth $20 more than the last Mario Kart. What about that fucking game makes it look like it's fucking $10 more than fucking, I don't know, Metaphor ReFantasia, I have broken my rule. I said I was never going to spend $70 on a video game. I did spend $70 to play Metaphor at launch. Do I regret that? No, because I love that game. $30 for half a season pass. Like, what are we doing? And that's the thing. That's without the DLC. If that was $80 for, like, an edition that came with all the DLC or whatever, you know, for, like, a year, and when all the new tracks are going to make out for it, yo, fine. PC games do go on sale quick, too. Nintendo games never drop in price. That's the problem, especially with Switch. They used to, until the Switch generation. Now in the Switch generation, Nintendo games never drop in price. They used to go down. They used to have Nintendo Selects, and they used to go have sales all the time on the Wii U and the 3DS. That's a recent thing. People will say, oh, Nintendo never puts their games on sale. That's just Switch. We need to talk about this fucking fag I've been arguing with on Twitter. So there's been a lot of fucking, I'm assuming, paid Nintendo shows. I think this guy's a paid Nintendo show. Video game media, yeah. So the video game media, there's been a couple of people who've been lying on Twitter that I want to talk about. I got to pull up another tweet quick, and I don't want to go through all my fucking mentions and shit to try and find it and go through with you, because I'm just not, I just don't want to deal with that. There's been a couple of posts that I feel are important that we dive into here. Let's see here. And we'll go to my profile. We'll go to my... Sorry, I'm just belching here. Where is what I'm saying? Yeah, here we go. Okay. Never bought Switch 1. I wouldn't buy Switch 1 at this point either. I mean, if you can get an OLED, if they start discounting the OLED Switches to like $200 or $250 now to try and clear out stock, which I think they should be. I'm surprised this first Switch hasn't gone on sale at all. That shocked me that the first Switch has never dropped in price. And that's what scares me about Switch 2. And what scares me about all gaming consoles. Right? Like, at this point in the life cycle of consoles, the PS5 and the Xbox Series X should both be like $200. Right? They should be dropping in price. Maybe not by half, but they should be down like $300 or $350 at least for the PS5 and the Series X, but they're not. They're staying the same price. They're increasing in price, right? And that's the thing with Switch 2. Switch 2 is probably not going to be $450. It's probably going to be like $600 after the tariff shit, but a lot of people say to do it for free. Risk is in VC General. I'm not ready to bring Rist in. I'll bring in Rist after I make my point about this, because I have a fucking whole diatribe I want to go into about this bullshit this fucking faggot is spewing on the internet. And I'll get into this guy second. This guy first. Gene Park, obvious, been around forever. Washington Post video game critic. Co-host of Punching Up Nintendo podcast. So, actually fucking paid gaming media show. I saw this faggot earlier complain about misinformation being spread about the Switch 1 game prices, because in some regions of the world, the Switch 2 physical games are costing fucking €90, and the digital versions are costing €70. Or well, it's either 80 and 70 euros, which is equivalent to about 90 and 80 US dollars. I'm not talking to you about your fucking medical advice, man. I'm not taking medical advice from tagging in my YouTube chat. No offense. $80 ports are great deals. Also, $80. Kirby and the Forgotten Land with its DLC is $80 US for the Switch 2. Tears of the Kingdom with its fucking shitty ass upgrade is it's fucking $80 US. No. Fucking Breath of the Wild with its upgrade is $70. No fucking way. And the goddamn upgrades, it's just a Switch 1 cart in a case that says Switch 2 with an upgrade thing as a fucking download code. So you can't even resell it as a Switch 2 version if you feel like it later. So, wow. Here's the deal. Let me ask, because I know we can actually have a conversation. Why do we complain about old games not getting price drops, but we're okay with old movies still being expensive, or old books still sold at $20? First of all, $20 is not that much money for a book. It's not. Don't care. There's physical paper involved with it and ink. Who cares? $70 for The Matrix Ultimate Collection. He's acting like this is $70 for one movie, when it's $70 for 1, 2, 3, 4 movies. And includes Animatrix on Blu-ray. So not 4K for this. But this includes 4 4K Blu-rays and a 5th regular Blu-ray for $70. That comes to about like $15 a disc. The Grok and the Legend of the Goblins remake came out. It's like $30. Sounds like a good deal to me. So, I'm sorry, but old movies are not expensive, right? The movies are actually fucking cheap. If you buy, like, most movies, when they first get their first 4K release, are kind of expensive. They drop in price quick. $70 for fucking 5 4K Blu-ray discs, or 4 4K discs and 1 regular Blu-ray disc. It's not that fucking expensive. It's like $15 for thing. And you could probably buy each movie individually for like $5 or $10 for 4K. Movies, when they came out, when the first Matrix movie came out on VHS and DVD, I bet you that shit was like $60 or like $70. Maybe not. Maybe I'm misremembering shit. But VHS and DVDs were expensive when they first fucking came out, right? It was not normal for a VHS and DVD to be like cheap when it launched. When it was a brand new VHS and DVD, they were expensive, and that was with old money, with old fucking inflation. But movies are significantly cheaper now than what they were. And especially old movies. Even new movies are cheaper now than what they were fucking 20 years ago. They've significantly reduced in price. It was not cheap. Yeah, no. Fucking movies weren't cheap to buy back then. They were more expensive now than they are now. And that's objectively true. Including physical media for movies. Just saying. So, this faggot then, of course, goes on later and talks about misinformation. Let me see if I can pull this shit up. This fucking bitch is live now with fucking Spawncast. Kill yourself. Genuinely fucking, Thank you, Oomphy, for Jake Tapper, CNN, for the retweet. Don't care. Where's this fucking bitch's post? Regardless, I need to go. There's not much time left. I don't care what you have to say. I'm going to find my post that I responded to him with, because, that's the only thing I can do. Look at this fucking post. Misinformation is just an unstoppable fucking wildfire, is what he said. Literally, yesterday, he was posting misinformation about fucking movies still being expensive. Misinformation is just an unstoppable wildfire. Literally misinforming the public as he fucking posts this. Insanity. Speaking of misinformation, this faggot, we're gonna start off right here with this whole list. Trying to justify the Switch being the price it is with these home console launch prices versus those prices adjusted for inflation today. First of all, we need to fucking talk about, the reality is, even within his post, the average cost for these games, right? The average cost for these consoles is still under $400. If you average it out, the mean. Secondly, he's just lying. The NES did not launch at $200 in 1985. Okay? It's a lie. It's a fucking lie. That is not true. It is factually fucking incorrect. The NES in the United States was not fully released and available to every market until 1987. And when it launched in 1987, for the full market, It came out with just the NES or Super Mario Brothers for $89.99 for just the system, or with Super Mario Brothers, $99.99. Literally half the price of what he's saying it is. This $199.99 number in 1985 comes from the fucking Rob the Robot deluxe release. So this fucking lying bullshit faggot is saying that the NES came out at $200, not fucking including the statement that came with the entire fucking toy Rob the Robot, which is a fucking fully functional robot, which cost an extra, essentially $100 to get that by itself. So, straight up, this... Yeah, the original Nintendo had 2 games, Robin, a Zapper, and 2 controllers. That was the original deluxe release of the NES. The majority of people did not have access to buy that system because it was not released to the full American public. It was only released in select cities and select territories. Joey Jojo, I know what you're saying, but you're also wrong. The first NES that was widely available was in 1987, and you can verify this by American releases of games for the NES. The only games that were released before 1987 to the US market were just Nintendo games. That was it. The majority of games released for the NES didn't start releasing until 1987 and later, because that's when it was fucking available. So, again, no, this did not launch at $199. This was not $587 in fucking today's money. It was $200. It was $100, which is about, divide that by half, what is that, it's about $293 and a half, right? It's about $300 is what it actually launched at in today's money. The Super Nintendo in 1991 is the only system with an outlier that was significantly more expensive, right? This is the only one at $463. So this is the only one that was like more than the Switch 2. And even then, this isn't accurate because the Super Nintendo came with a game. It came with Super Mario World, and it included with it. So, let's include, if we're going to compare apples to apples, the SNES had really expensive games too, didn't it? Kind of? Not really. Most of the SNES games, brand new, they were whatever the price, but the price on games went down quickly back then. We can look at SNES MSRP. Let's look at that right now. Generally range from $40 to $60, with some titles reaching higher prices, influenced by cartridge size and memory costs, which was more expensive back then. But again, $40 to $60. If you keep spamming, I'm gonna fucking ban you, man. I'm serious. I will advise ivermectin. I'm not taking Heartgard because I'm taking dog medicine. I'm sorry, it's not gonna happen. It's also expensive. If you don't stop spamming, I'm gonna ban you. I'm serious. Right now, stop, or I'm banning you. I've taken your fucking thing under advisement, and I will think about it, but stop. So I want to read my fucking chat, not you, faggot. Genesis was cheaper for the games and consoles. Well, no, the Genesis was the same price as the NES when it launched, I'm pretty sure. It might have been a little bit more expensive, right? But the NES was $99 at launch. It's not $199. N64 games were expensive. Yeah, they were for the time. But the N64 itself was also $200, the same price as the fucking Super Nintendo. It is cheaper than the SNES, but remember, the Genesis came out before the SNES did. I know you're trying to help me, and I will take it under advisement, but it's not a fucking health stream, it's a goddamn Nintendo stream. So I will take it under advisement and think about it, but I'm trying to fucking do something. I got it. I'm doing something. Yeah, the Genesis was before the Super Nintendo. The Super Nintendo came out later. And I think the Genesis was more expensive than the NES. Anyways. Take his coat when you ban him, Jenny. So I want to compare apples to apples on this. Because this is an important thing to understand. Because the point of a post like this is to deceive you and make it seem that like gaming has always been this expensive. And that this is nothing new. It's totally normal, and what's happening now to gaming is okay, and you just have to get used to inflation, things get increase in price, yada yada. I want to make it clear, if I believe personally the Switch 2 should be priced at $400. I think that's a fair price to pay. Money has gotten less, is worth less than it was before. If it was $400, that was my max. I think maybe it should be $350, right? Realistically, I think for most people, $350 was a better price. I think that's the price of the Switch OLED. For an LCD version, I think $350 is probably fair, and maybe release an OLED version for $400 later. Games could cost $200 or $200. They suck, they suck. That's true. The games seem to suck, which we have to fucking acknowledge. The games look like they suck. Yes, at the radio, because you're spamming my chat, and I appreciate it because you're actually talking to me. I just don't want you spamming my chat because I'm trying to engage with other people. So yes, I was upset with you because you were spamming. So please don't do that. Anyways, we need to actually look at the math. Okay? NES, about $300 in today's money. SNES, $463. N64, $402. GameCube, $356. Wii, $391. Wii U, $412 and $481 for the more expensive one. Now, I think it's fair to compare the deluxe because that's what most people bought. So the $350 for the deluxe Wii U set is what most people bought. However, pretty soon after launch, the deluxe set got dropped down to $300 too. And that's the version that you could buy. The $299.99 one, at least I might be lying about that. I don't know. But I'm pretty sure this Wii U was $299 for the deluxe set at some point. But we're going to take the most expensive one. So at that time, the Wii U in 2012 money was the most expensive console Nintendo ever did. Right? The Switch was the equivalent of $386 in today's money. Now, $450 for the Switch in 2025. People will say, let's go back and say, oh, the SNES and the Wii U were more expensive. While it's true, the Nintendo Switch 2 at $450 is more expensive than the Super Nintendo and the Wii U. What you are forgetting is that the Wii U and the Super Nintendo came in with packing games. SNES came with Super Mario World, one of the best games for the Super Nintendo. The Wii U came with Nintendo Land, which wasn't one of the best games for the Wii U, but it was still a full game. It was not like it wasn't even like Wii Sports, like with the Wii. Nintendo Land was a full-fledged multiplayer, like, big game. Like, they sold it separately for like $50. Okay? Exactly, Zachary Keith Hasbrook. The pack-in version with Mario's Kart World is $499.99. So if you compare apples to apples and actually compare the version of the Switch 2 that most matches the version released previously, the Nintendo Switch 2 is the most expensive home console Nintendo has ever released. Minimum, but really by a wide fucking margin. The closest two it comes with are still $20 and like $40 off. Most of them are hundreds to potentially hundreds of dollars in difference in price. So you have to. This is what they are telling you with this price of $500 for one with a game, right? Because reality is, if you're buying a Switch 2, you're probably going to want to get Mario Kart for it. You're probably going to want to get at least one of the new games for it. So if we consider, you probably get either Mario Kart or Donkey Kong. If there's no Donkey Kong packing game with whatever, it's going to be $520 to get a Switch 2 with a single video game, right? $520 for a Switch 2 with Donkey Kong. They're even charging for the console tour game. Yeah, that doesn't. If that was for free, you could maybe argue that came with this game, but no, that's not free. In the year 2000, 17-year-old me was working in an electronics boutique, EDV Games, making $5.75 an hour. I had to work about 11 hours to buy a $60 video game. The problem was, faggot, in the year 2000, games didn't cost $60 fucking US dollars. Maybe the N64 did, but I'm pretty sure by then the GameCube was coming out like the next year, and GameCube games didn't cost $60. PS2 games didn't cost $60, and Xbox games didn't cost $60. They cost like, what, $50? Some of them cost $40 from what I remember. I remember games costing like $40, and most games I wanted to buy when I was a kid for the GameCube were like $20, right? brand new games probably cost like 40, but most games were like $20, right? For the new games. So, no. Gaming was not just as expensive back then as it is now. It is absolutely more expensive today. Nintendo is launching its most expensive system ever with 2 exclusives that both look like shit. And I got into a fucking major argument with this guy. He was saying, oh, the NES. Because the only exception would be the NES at $587. But, you know, if the Switch 2 came with a robot that jerked me off, you know, maybe it would be worth that extra fucking however much money. Right? PS3 was $5. No, PS3 was $600. It was $599. When it launched. Eventually, they dropped it down to $300. So, is the Switch 2 the worth spending the most money you've ever spent to have a Nintendo console? When you compare the launch lineup for any of these other systems, even fucking the Wii U, I thought the Wii U had a better launch lineup than this. Maybe I'm wrong. The Wii, it had a fucking 2D Mario. It wasn't the best 2D Mario, but it had a fucking 2D Mario. Launch lineup for this is like a Bravely Default remake, which is a game I've already played. It's a remix of games I've already played, right? The only new game is this new Mario Kart, which to me, again, it's a side game. To me, Mario Kart's not a single player game that I can like sink my teeth into. It's a fucking single player, it's a multiplayer thing I play with my friends. That's it. So remember, I was fully prepared to spend $400 for a Switch 2. Because I think that's a fair price for it. Because the Switch, if it released today, would be about $400, right? Launch price of the Switch in 2017 today is about $386. I'm fine paying $400 for a Switch 2. I'm not fine paying $450, and I'm not fucking fine with them being the one to pull the trigger on $80 video games. What about Mario Kart World makes it the most expensive game ever released? Really think about this. This is the most expensive video game ever released. This is the most anyone has ever charged for just a base game. No, not even fucking Sony and PlayStation have had the balls. And I understand there's probably been some games that have cost $100 or some shit, whatever. In terms of a major, full-on release. Not true, Gahul. Neo Geo games are more. Okay. Fair enough. We're going to walk this back. Discounting Neo Geo games. There were some games for the fucking N64 that were like $100, to be fair. That's true. But in the modern gaming industry, if we consider like the last 20 years of gaming, we go since the year 2000. Right? If we go since the year of our Lord, 2000 AD, modern gaming. If we go by modern gaming standards, what makes Mario Kart World worth being the most expensive game to release since like the year 2000? Why is Mario Kart World $80 but not fucking Metaphor ReFantasia or Elden Ring? Right? I don't think Elden Ring and Metaphor ReFantasia are even worth $70. They're worth like $60 to me still. Because they're not worth that much. They're not worth more than these other games that I bought when I bought them, right? Jam my website? I'll do that after the stream. Thank you for bringing that up, by the way. I'm actually just gonna take care of this right now. I apologize. I would have taken care of that sooner, but again, I was on the air. I'm not gonna pull that shit up on the air. I need to stop being poor. That's true. I wish I wasn't poor. SMG will buy Assassin's Creed Shadows on Switch 2. He will. And I will bring Rist in just a second. I know people are waiting. Rist, I know you're there. I know you're in the VC. And I will bring you in a second. I'm just trying to make my point because this is like my whole reason I did the stream was to make this fucking argument and say this because this is like actually upsetting me. Because this guy really pissed me off. I'm not buying a Switch 2. People are bringing up the 3DS, and I actually brought this up in my video I did earlier this week, that if you just don't buy this system, the price will go down. Because then they'll have overstock. If the demand does not meet the supply, they will drop the price. So if you don't feel comfortable spending $450 for a Switch 2, don't. Most people don't. I don't think most people feel comfortable spending that much money for a Switch 2. Most people don't feel that comfortable spending that much money for a video game. Let the fucking copies of Mario Kart World rot on the shelf. You have the power to do this. All fucking 66 of you in the live chat. But don't just do it to me. Go and tell your fucking friends, hey, this seems really expensive. Why don't we go do something else instead? You know? Why don't we go on fucking vacation? For $500, you could buy a flight and a hotel probably to like anywhere you want in the world for like a weekend. Right? Isn't that a much better use of your money? Maybe like take a weekend to go fucking vacation with your family. If you have fucking wife and kids or something, I know what you have. Maybe you can't afford that, but if it's just you, dude, if you're just a single dude, right? Go on a vacation for $500 fucking dollars, whatever they're asking. Go on a fucking trip. You can go to a fucking fine dining restaurant fucking 5 times. You know, $500 is not a small amount of money. You can do a lot of shit with $500. Am I wrong? That vacation only lasts a weekend with $8 a game. You get hours of video. Have a picnic. You'll probably buy a Switch 2 if the price goes down after 1 or 2 years. If someone buys me a Switch 2, will I play it? Of course! If someone buys me a Switch 2, I'll break it on live stream if they want me to. I will do if someone buys me anything for free, whatever, I don't care. I'm not a fucking whatever. I'll probably ask $500. I was joking. Importantly, I don't feel comfortable. The thing is, the games don't excite me. Bracelet. That's why I started off with that, because I think people are just saying, "Oh, you know, it looks so good, but the money, it's so expensive." It also looks like shit. It looks like shit, and it's expensive, so it's a terrible combination. Didn't get Switch 1 emulated, that's fine, but I don't think the Switch 2 emulator is coming out for a while. I don't think people are wrong to assume it's just going to happen right away, and if they do, the demand's sort of going to be higher than a Switch 1. I think the hardware on this looks significantly stronger. To emulate this is going to be a little bit more difficult. I'm of the opinion. Okay, I'll put my music back on because I'm going crazy. Thing is, the hardware in terms of like what it looks like, the mouse mode and like the whatever, the bigger screen, looks fine. I would prefer an OLED screen, but I understand they're doing LCD to start because it's like the standard version. I was actually turning into looking at the hardware itself. I thought this looks fine, sounds good, nice upgrade. But there's lots of little things that are wrong with it too that I just don't want to buy. But even if I had the money for this, which I could, I don't want this right now. Two big things. Number one, the battery life is worse than the original Switch at launch. That's shit. We're probably gonna get 2 hours of gameplay for like Mario Kart World, it looks like. That's worse than the Steam Deck, dude. I'm not that's bullshit. Bullshit. You need to fucking it's significantly bigger. Fix the battery shit. That's embarrassing. Secondly, it looks fucking ugly. This fucking black controller with the fucking weird color rings? What are they fucking thinking? This is such a horrible looking, ugly console in terms of actually like the physical controllers, right? I understand the screen's a fucking blank tablet, right? Doesn't look that much different, but the main thing is when it looks as a whole unit. I'm just baffled that there's no like plain black or like plain black with like white circles or black with gray circles, you know? So which one's uglier? Yeah, the Switch 1 with the fucking miscolored Joy-Cons was uglier, but the Switch 1 with just the gray Joy-Cons looks just fine. I think the Switch OLED with the white Joy-Cons looks good. Why is there just not a plain color one? Why does it have to look like a fucking kid's toy? For $500, it should not look like a kid's toy, right? I understand that when the Switch 1 launched, there's a gray option and a fucking colorful option. Why is there only one color of this thing? Baffling. Baffling. Obviously baffling. Terrible decision. Yeah, the gray option looked. I bought the gray option because I thought it looked fine. It is a kid's toy, bro. No kid's toy costs $500 US. It is not a toy for children. Don't fucking kid yourself. They have officially priced it out of the kids' toy region. For $500, if you're buying your child a toy and your options are, and you have a budget of $500, okay? Your options are option A, a fucking like mini Jeep or a Switch 2, which would make the kid more happy. I was a Nintendo kid. I loved Nintendo when I was a kid. I wanted all the Nintendo shit. I'm a huge fucking Nintendo fan when I was a child. Bro, if my parents could have got me a mini Jeep instead, a fucking go-kart, I want the go-kart. Like, what are we talking about? Like, for $500, you can get a fucking sweet go-kart or a mini Jeep or like, you know, like 10 Lego sets. No, not even 10, like 5 Lego sets. 5 really cool Lego sets, right? No, $500 is not a children's toy. It is too expensive to be a children's toy. $500 is like a down payment on a car. Not a great car, but most used cars are around like, you know, you can get a used car for like $3,000 or $4,000. Electric go-kart would be so boss. Yeah. Yeah, right? Like, you can get an electric motor, plug that shit in, be driving around the yard and shit. At least the Switch 2 Lite for kids eventually. If the Switch 2 Lite can be docked, I'd rather get that. I'll be honest, as someone I actually gave my Switch Lite away to one of my little cousins because I bought it with the intent to travel, but I've bought every version of the Switch 1 because I'm a stupid fucking idiot. And I just want you to understand this. I'm a literal Nintendo shell. I love Nintendo. I have every amiibo on the shelf there. I literally fucking love Nintendo. And I am so pissed at this. This is so awful. This is so bad that it has made me, like, hate Nintendo forever. Can I show us our toys, please? I'd be happy to show you my toys, but I don't want to get up because I'm in the middle of this. I will bring Wrist in, and I'm sorry that I haven't. I'll call him back. I'll call Wrist right now. We've obviously displayed my disloyalty. I'm not crippled. I will stand up. It's just, I'm fat. I've gotten fat, man. What can I say? I'm even fatter than I was before. I'm fucking huge. Talk about Billy Mitchell. Billy Mitchell won. What can you say? The real King of Kong, right there. Buy a bike and use a gift. I actually have an exercise bike. Wrist isn't picking up. I fucking miss Wrist. Oh well. Well, if he wants to join later. I'm sorry. I had to go on my rant. It's the whole point of doing my streams. I did my rant. If you guys want to join the stream, I'll put the Discord link in the description. 1 second. Use copy button? What the fuck is this, YouTube, man? Just let me fucking... Huh? Yeah, you saw that. I don't know what the fuck. It's annoying. How the fuck do I fucking copy this Discord link, man? It's bullshit. Just because I'm in fucking streamer mode, I guess? Fuck's sake, I fucking hate Discord so much, it's unreal. Okay, there we go. Discord invite, guys. Come on in. What visual novel does the soundtrack belong to? Doki Doki Oyako Lesson. This is Bible Black. God, I'm fucking tapped out now, man. I am totally fucking zonked. So yeah, this is basically what I wanted to say. I had to get this off my chest, man. If you guys want to call in, feel free to use the call-in line, or join the Discord link I just posted to join the live chat. Also, someone is calling me, but it's not fucking picking up. I will call them back. Can I call them back? No. This is fucking annoying. It doesn't let me,
Call from
Bard Dionysius.
to accept, press.
Hello, you're on the air.
Hey, what's up, buddy?
Hey, how's it going, man?
Doing well. How you doing?
Doing okay. What can I help you with?
Just trying to talk about Switch 2.
Yeah, so what do you think? What's your thoughts?
I think it's a fucking scam there, buddy.
Yeah, obviously it's a scam. Huge fucking waste of money. I think I said earlier, even if I had the money to buy it, I wouldn't want to buy this version of the Switch 2 because I don't like the colors. It looks ugly. The games look bad. Like, what is there to like about this system? What makes it worth $500?
Well, there isn't, right? And the cope is that, like, back in the day that games were like $70 or $80 in the 90s, right? But that's not really true, right? Because the games then were like manufactured, like they were manufactured from precious minerals and like all this shit. Like they had a bunch of
they were fucking fucking RAM built into the RAM chips, ROM chips, you know. But like, some actually had like other CPU chips built into it. Also, can you turn off like my talk back? It's really annoying.
Right, like it makes no sense. Like, and don't get me wrong, there were garbage ass games made back then or whatever, but like we weren't for that. Like we stood against it. Like fuck that.
Also, most people weren't buying new games that frequently. Most people were buying games used, or they were buying them at a discounted rate. Like games were like brand new, however much they were, but by the time they were affordable to you, like most games ended up being like $20 or $30, or you buy a used game for like $10 or $15, right? Or people rented games. Yeah, rented games was extremely common back then.
Right, and then like it was until the manufacturing of CDs that it like kind of like elevated it or like leveled the playing field, right? Then like people are bringing up like the 3DO and Sega Saturn, but I guess those were just like early adapters of the product, right? So yeah, they had to suffer.
Also, the Sega Saturn games were cheaper than like the N64 games were back then, right? CD games and like PlayStation games were extremely cheap when they came out. And that's what the PlayStation succeeded because they had cheap games because of CD pressing, right? And Sony was able to do it because they had access to a CD manufacturing plant. But all that's besides the point because, you know, the gaming market was different back then. Games, maybe they launched brand new, more expensive, but like people did not buy games brand new that often. They bought them used frequently. They bought them when they went on sale, which they eventually, went down in price. Nowadays, games don't go down in price because gamers just buy the games brand new at the full fucking price, and so they just keep them at that price forever, right? So what's the point? You know, it's just retarded. Or they're buying them digitally, you know? And I don't even go into the whole, like, oh, you still there, man?
Yeah, I am.
I don't even go into the whole fucking digital game shit with Nintendo and their digital DRM shit they're pulling or their fucking game key cards, which I don't even care. It's like, who cares? It's fucking Sony and Microsoft are doing that same shit with their discs anyways. And like, I mean, obviously, like the new Xbox and PlayStation are both $500, but I mean, frankly, if you look at them as like capabilities as a gaming machine, a PS5 and an Xbox will be able to play much higher quality games in terms of graphical fidelity than a Switch 2 can.
Well, right, and you brought it up right there. Like, yeah, sure, if I'm going to pay $500 for a fucking system, then, like, I expect it to perform for $500, right? We always gave Nintendo the benefit of the doubt. Like, yeah, I'm going to pay fucking $350 for a kid toy game. And, like, yeah, I'll suffer and, like, have 30 frames a minute, you know, like whatever. Like I'm gonna suffer with the quality, but hey, I paid $300 for this fucking thing.
Yeah, it's not that expensive. But like, if you're comparing it directly to in terms of price to a PS5 or a Series X, in terms of game pricing, Xbox and PlayStation both have game subscription streaming services, whatever their game subscription service is. And I mean, they're both kind of expensive now. I know Sony seems a little bit pricier, but I mean, like Game Pass Ultimate and PlayStation, whatever the fuck, gets you access to a ton of games, so like the game prices themselves are cheaper. And also, if the games are going to be $70 to $80 on the Nintendo console, the games are cheaper on PlayStation and Xbox then. So it's more expensive to play games on Nintendo, right? For a worse experience. What, you get portability for it? I'm sorry, portability isn't worth paying that much more for a worse experience. It just isn't. You know, if I want that, I'll buy fucking games on Steam and then play them in worse quality on my Steam Deck and in good quality on my gaming PC. And I will say this, gaming PCs are expensive. They're a different price category to like a gaming console or a fucking Switch, right? But a Steam Deck is now much cheaper than a fucking Switch 2 is by like $100, right? And at that price point, if you already have a gaming PC, it's like the people bought Switches as like portable systems because they didn't want to buy another console, right? It's like what gaming PC players bought. They bought a lot of Switches. But if I'm a PC gaming guy, why would I buy a Switch 2 over a fucking Steam Deck or one of the other fucking handheld PCs that are out there, you know?
No, like the whole point of PC gaming is you have access to everything. Like you're able to find everything. That's why you have a PC. So yeah, it makes no sense.
PCs are used for other utilities besides, I mean, obviously most people who are building game PCs to play gaming aren't doing shit like video editing or streaming or like 3D modeling and stuff. But like for me personally, I do all of those things. I may be professionally doing 3D modeling soon and stuff, you know. Not on my main job, but maybe I want to start doing shit, right? Or maybe I want to start, you know, if I wanted to, I could use my game PC to start doing fucking freelance video editing for people, right? Or freelance, you know, anything. You actually have access to a very strong, it's a tool. Like, it's like fucking like complaining. It's like a difference between like a go-kart and a car, right? Like, yeah, a car is more, I mean, back to go-kart comparison. A car is going to give you utility to do a lot of different things than like a go-kart. A go-kart's a fun toy that you can only use on a track. And yeah, Nintendo may have the cheapest go-kart at one point, and PlayStation and Xbox's go-karts may have been way better go-karts that can maybe also be like, you know, or whatever the fuck, you know. But like, a PC is an actual fucking real utility tool. It's an actual thing you want to invest money in for your whatever, you know. It's a different category of product, and just because it can also play games better than these other things, so it's just like a win-win.
Oh, good. Cool. You're absolutely spot on. Like, that's what it is. It's a fucking go-kart trying to price itself at a fucking Ferrari. And it's just not there.
Right. Exactly. That's a good fucking comparison. You know, it's a go-kart pretending to be a fucking Ferrari, right? And obviously PC gaming's got its own pricing bullshit, and there's issues with PC gaming too that make it more fucking inconvenient than console gaming, but hey, fucking Shaggy in the chat. People saying Switch 2 will sell to ignorant consumers. I'm sorry. Will it? I think it's priced out of fucking kids. I think it's priced out of, like, older people who, like, you know, elderly people who bought the Switch to play Just Dance because they stopped making it for Wii, right? So, will the Switch 2 sell well? In these marketing conditions, in this economy, no. I think there's going to be Switch 2s on shelves. I'm counting and hoping. If Switch 2 sells out...
There's a lot of backlash. There's a lot of backlash, so hopefully it sticks, right? And people stand by their words, but we'll see.
Yeah. Play Minecraft with us? I don't know who us is, but Shaggy, so. If I would be very disappointed and saddened by the gaming community and the fucking American gaming community, especially, if there are still Switch 2s available at launch. I mean, there's not Switch 2s available. If this thing sells out, if it's pre-order sells out, and like it's gonna be hard to get one, like the Switch 1 was, and the PS5 and Xbox were at launch, I think gaming's fucked, and we can never recover. We need this thing to flop. We need to do poorly, and we need people to not buy these games. This needs to be fucking shelf-stocking shit that Nintendo can't move, right? This has to happen in order for fucking Nintendo to learn and for the gaming industry to learn that they can't pull this shit. They cannot. If we pull the trigger on an $80 video game for fucking Mario Kart now, you bet your goddamn ass the next fucking Dark Souls game is going to cost $100. Not even the next GTA game, because GTA, they're going to charge $100 for GTA, but the next Dark Souls or fucking, you know, Elden Ring spinoff, where the fuck, it's going to be $100. And you won't be able to afford to play it. It's going to become a time, I'm already at the point where, frankly, I can't afford to buy this. I can't afford to buy this, I can't budget, I can't fit this monthly. So I'm getting priced out of video gaming. Video gaming should be not this expensive. It should not be this crazy to get invested as a hobby.
To death.
Right? Hello?
Hey.
Whoa, buddy. Your screen dropped for a second there.
Death.
Yeah, my screen just dropped, yeah. Hey, you still there? I lost the caller, but that's okay.
I mean, yeah, I'm, of course, still here.
Yeah, obviously. So what do you think, man? What are your thoughts? We lost that caller, unfortunately, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I didn't want to jump in considering it's a different line, so it'd be very strange. Yeah, I agree. Nintendo's pricing this thing too high. Especially the games. The console price itself, yeah, it's a little bit higher, but it does price it out for kids and families. I don't think it kills it there. But the gaming price, the parents will just look at the cost of a game, or the average consumer will, and just say, yeah, this is ridiculous. I'll just go buy a PlayStation 5 or an Xbox Series S or a Steam Deck or whatever.
I mean, at this point, PlayStation is so entrenched in gaming with, like, fucking kids and stuff, too. Like, if I'm a kid asking for something, like, if as a kid, I would often ask for, like, Nintendo stuff for, like, Christmas. I know my parents would be more likely to buy it because they could afford it. Because, like, PlayStation was way more expensive. PlayStation and Xbox shit were way more expensive. If I'm a kid and, like, my options, if my parents spend the same amount of money on me to get me a PlayStation 5 or a Switch, too, why would I not want a PS5 instead? Like, wouldn't a PS5 be way more fucking cool as, like, a piece of technology?
It depends on the IPs, too. I mean, I don't know if Sony's IPs really appeal that much to kids. I might be wrong here, though. I think Nintendo really has that appeal for younger audiences.
Well, I mean, what Sony has over fucking Nintendo is that the games will run better, right? What if I'm, like, I can fucking play fucking Fortnite at epic fucking 4K frames at 60 frames per second, or however much the PS5 can, you know?
So,
like,
that does appeal to older audiences, but I don't think kids really care about that. Maybe I'm wrong here.
I think kids do care. I think that there's, like, a perception that the PS5 is, like, this, like, elite status thing. I think kids would be more likely to go for a PS5 than a Switch 2, right? If it's the same price point. The reason why I think a Switch appealed to a lot of little kids was like, oh, well, you know, my parents can't afford to get me a PS5, but they got me a Switch, I can still play the games with you guys, right? But, like, it's one of those things where, like, you look at, like, I mean, maybe I'm crazy, but like every game that's gonna come out will probably come out on PS5. Not every game that comes out will come out on Switch to at launch, right? But like
I mean,
most games
I know you hate women, but and they don't buy games like PS5s or Xboxes. But it is true that when it comes to home consoles, the female audience is much more heavily concentrated on Nintendo consoles. So that is another thing to be considered as well.
Yeah, I guess that's true, but I mean, if I'm a girl gamer, right? Where was any game for me at this conference? Nowhere. There's no Animal Crossing. There's
That's
no
true.
fucking like. The most they had was like fucking Tomodachi Life in the last direct, but that's coming out on Switch 1. Like all these games, if this thing had Animal Crossing, we would be having a different discussion right now. This thing would be selling out. But there's no Animal Crossing. They got nothing for women right now. They just don't.
No, that is actually a very good point. I forgot about that. Because, yeah, this launch is very thin compared to the Switch or the Wii U or the Wii for that matter.
Yeah.
Is that Rist who just joined?
Yeah, it's Rist, man. What's up, Rist?
Oh, here we go. What's your opinion on this?
What's your
On
opinion,
the
man?
Switch fiasco?
I really want to hear this broke nigga's opinion on.
He muted himself.
He muted himself. But he'll chime in anyways. Women buy Nintendo and blacks buy Sony. To be fair, women buy Sony stuff too.
I mean, it's true that girl gamers are pretty much guys, but for the actual women that play on Nintendo Switch, those are actual females. All of the troons go to, a lot of them are on PC, to be honest.
Most of them are on PC and on Switch.
Yeah.
To be fair, a lot of real girls play games on PlayStation too. That's not unusual. They buy like their
What do they buy?
Anime games, stuff like that. That does happen.
Oh,
And PC. I mean, girl gamers are on everything. You see them on Xbox and shit like that. They do spread out. It's not just Nintendo, right?
Well,
but they buy
it's,
Nintendo. But
it's
girl
5
gamers,
to 10% of the population on Xbox and PlayStation, and it's more like 30 or 40 probably on Nintendo.
right? But the thing is, that wasn't the case until Animal Crossing came out.
Hello, chat.
Oh,
hello.
yeah, we got-
I can
hello,
hear
everyone.
Rist now.
We got Rist. We got
Hey.
Shaggy in the chat. We got the whole the
Oh,
killer's row here.
Jags.
Moving away from the mic, get closer to it. Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah, closer to it. Yeah. I'm probably gonna have to go in about like a couple of minutes or so. Unfortunately, I have to go play games with my my Padre. But what's up, chat? Love you guys. Gahul, you've been right about everything. Although I missed like a substantial amount. I don't think tabletop games are fucked though. I guess that would be the one thing.
Like
think
tabletop
tabletop
games
games are
are gonna get
pretty
fucked by
okay.
the tariffs. By the way, they're gonna
Yeah,
get totally fucked.
no, I can confirm tabletop games are completely fucked. They just rebooted Ravenloft. I've been bitching about that in my community general. The current iteration of Dungeons and Dragons is mechanically very good, but it's like a Amazon reboot. You know, all the edgy stuff has been taken out of the lore. Everyone's been gender or race swapped. It's really fucking stupid.
Well, but you
what
can.
they've done.
But you
It's
can.
Critical
you
Role
can just
5,
take-
basically. It's been basically made into
Right.
Critical Role, the board game.
No,
which is
that's
different.
understandable. But you can also. What's up, Shaggy? How you doing, brother? How you doing? And Donkey, who is the other guy in here? Dang nabbit, Bobby.
Donkey Kino Bonanza. Obviously, he's one of my longtime callers. He's always been called Donkey Kino Bonanza.
Yeah, it's going to be the best Switch 2 game right there. Honestly, when I was looking at the game, I thought it looks pretty good, but Gould had some good points.
I hope I'm wrong. By the way,
Yeah,
I hope that
it
the rest of the
looks
game
so
is
bad.
actually great. And
No, I
it turns out
think
to be a great game.
it's disgusting Unreal Engine. It's
Yeah.
just like asset put in Unreal Engine. It's like
I
none of these
agree.
people programmed this themselves,
yeah,
right? Like you
100%
can just
When I
you can
first
very
saw it,
see it.
I thought it was AI generated. I'm gonna be honest. I thought like the fucking like
It's
level
not that
design,
bad.
I think there has been a
I'm not talking about Donkey
supplication
Kong
of
himself,
AI
but like
generation.
but like the actual like levels and like the backgrounds. I thought this is fucking like looks like an AI. Like
It's so bad. It's
There's the skyboxes
I was watching the
look
first
terrible.
part of your stream. I was watching the first part of the stream. Then I went out to get booze because Shiba, right? Gotta stick to the program, right?
Yeah, of course.
Don't go gay, Gahul. There's hope. Believe in yourself. Says Sean
Trust me, I'm not
Ian.
going gay anytime soon. Shaggy, it's been a while, man. You have thoughts on Switch 2, or you just want to talk shit?
No, the Switch 2, I mean, I'm not doing this whole Bloodborne thing again. I see exactly what they're doing. They're
That
gonna
game
keep,
is shit. It's not Bloodborne.
I'm not playing that.
Listen,
I'm not.
Shaggy, it's not even Bloodborne.
I missed
It's-
me with that.
Imagine if it was Overwatch, but Bloodborne. That's all.
Yeah, I'm not gonna invest in that shit. They can fuck themselves.
Um,
That.
I'm soy jacking right now. I'm ready to jettison my wallet into Nintendo's greedy little grubby fucking nip Jew hands. How can you even be like this? So horrifying. Did I even copy
Those
this
games
shit?
are well priced at $80. What are you talking about?
I'm enjoying my playthrough of Darkest Dungeon right now, so
I
Well,
do
that's good,
believe
man.
that.
That's the thing, man. I think now is the time where modern gaming is really. People always say like, "Oh, modern gaming is shit. Just go play retro stuff," and it's like, well, there were still good games coming out like every year. I felt, and there might be a good game that comes up this year that I'm just not. I don't have on my radar. But like as of today, there's nothing coming out in the next like year plus that I'm excited for. I mean, I want to play the new Metroid game, and I'll play it for Switch One, probably, because I thought, well, what if I want the Switch 2 version because it'll run better? But now
Well,
the Switch
there's
One,
new Kirby's Air Ride, but I'm almost ready to be traumatized by how fucked
I mean,
they're gonna make it. 'Cause
Sakurai's-
Kirby's Air Ride was such a good game.
I mean, this is Sakurai
It was
making
like-
it. It's not like fucking some B team. It's actually like Sakurai making it, so it'll probably be good.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
And it
yeah.
also it probably won't come out until next year or the year after.
you guys must have seen the bastardized Donkey Kong coming out, right?
Oh yeah, it was terrible. I was bitching about the whole stream, man. You missed that, but
The whole stream, yes, this whole stream is about Donkey Kong. Yeah, this whole
Yeah, more
stream
so
is
than
about-
Mario Kart or price changes.
Yeah,
my
Trifox
God.
says.
I feel because everyone's talking about the
Trifox
price
says-
changes, but no one's been talking about how bad the games actually seem to be looking.
Trifox
which
says
is the real problem.
Trifox says Ghoul, Wrist, and Shaggy, the rape supergroup.
Please don't
Thanks,
associate
buddy.
me with that. That's fuck you, man. That's a terrible thing to say.
Trifox is at it. Trifox it's Modelo time, Bendejo. It's
Modelo.
Modelo time.
Here's what I have to say
Oh.
about
It's the it's that's hilarious. Yeah.
Trifox is on a roll.
Man.
Oh, Leo, we gotta get Leo in here.
If
Leo Pirate.
if Leo's in the chat or something, have him come in, man.
Postino says, I'm gonna tell my kids this is Oni plays. This is Oni plays at home, my good sir.
Is
Oh, yeah.
FMG still there? He's gonna pre-order a Switch too.
I'm happy for him. I hope if you can afford it,
You'll have to-
go for it. But I
Yeah,
actually wouldn't. I
yeah,
wouldn't.
reverse. It's really good to reverse mortgage your house in Mexico to finance a Switch too, right?
Well, I mean, if you buy,
know?
the peso is worth so much less than the dollar now. You could actually, it might not be a bad idea to get it from there. I don't know. Maybe there's something to that.
Yes.
What
Trifox
was I
says
gonna say?
SMG dodging ice right now. Yeah, he can't even go to the fucking. He can't even go
Can't even pick it
get
up.
his shit financed. The security guard will have license to fucking put a bullet in his skull. JD Vance said it would be so.
Yeah. That's
Hell
true.
yeah.
What was I? I
We
was
love
gonna
you,
say
SMG.
something. I forgot what it was. What were we talking about before we started talking about SMG? It was something about the Switch
Donkey
2.
Kong Bonanza.
No. Fuck. Whatever. It's not probably that important. I mean, like, listen. I
Once-
thought the pricing stuff was bad, but no one's talking about how bad the games look, really. And when it does look bad, and oh yeah, people were saying, oh, just play old games, right? But like, I have a big back catalog that I want to go through and play, but like, what's coming out in the next year? Oh yeah, about Metroid Prime, about these fucking Switch 2 game releases, which I didn't even go into. Have you heard about this yet? The drama about the Switch 2 versions of Switch 1 games. Have you heard about this?
They're $70.
No, I am not.
No.
Wait, what's?
Not that they're $70. First of all, some of them are $80, not $70.
Oh,
which is crazy.
yeah.
Like Kirby's $80, and I think fucking like Super Mario Party Superstars is $80, which is
Dude,
crazy.
that's like you can get a week's worth of groceries.
But the
Like,
craziest
not even-
part
actually
is
more.
the craziest part
Insanity.
is these Switch 2 versions of the game don't eat when you buy the physical version. Doesn't come with the Switch 2 version. It comes with the Switch 1 game cartridge with a download code for the Switch 2 upgrade. So you
Well,
buy-
I mean, you can still play it on Switch 1, I guess.
yeah, well, exactly. So why not just buy the Switch 1 version at like a used, right? And then just get the download code. There's no reason.
Right, because you can
But then,
you
okay,
can upgrade to that.
the whole reason you'd want to buy like a physical version of the Switch 2 version of Breath of the Wild is for preservation's sake, right? So otherwise, why not just buy the Switch 1 version and get the download? So, but you can't even do that. They're not actually. So you were just paying them the privilege to get. You're basically paying for like a Switch 1 cartridge. If you're a physical game collector, this is not a Switch 2 game. And also, if you go to sell the game later, you are only selling the Switch 1 cartridge. You are not selling the Switch 2 version with like the Switch 2 DLC included. So
yeah, that's complete madness. That's like actually
insanity,
not even sane.
right? So you can't even fucking so you can't even resell the game because the game is then worth less. The game is objectively worth $10 or $20 less because you use the download code that it comes with to get the DLC or whatever. So as soon as you use that, and as soon as you go to sell the game now drops to the Switch 1 price.
Do you know how much they're charging for the upgrades? For, say, if you have Breath of the Wild, the upgrade price. Say if you have Breath of the Wild on the Switch 1 and you want to get the
different per game
upgraded version.
It's different per game.
Oh, okay.
So for Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, it's $10. For Mario Party and Kirby, it's $20. So it's game by game. Some of them are free. Some of them are just like resolution boosts they're doing for free. But some of them, why is the Zelda one's not free then? Which is ridiculous. And Metroid Prime 4 is $10, I'm pretty sure. That's why it's $70. The ones that are $80 are basically that because their upgrade DLC is $20.
Exactly. Yeah, you're basically buying the Switch 1 game plus the upgrade. Which
for a new Switch 2 game like Metroid Prime 4, I even kind of understand for just that one because it should still be the Switch 2 version on the cartridge, by the way. But I get why you charge $70 for that. But why not? Kirby and the Forgotten Land is worth $40 now. It's like a discounted game. You can get it on Amazon for $40, right?
Yeah. It's
a many years old game. Mario Party Superstars is also a year and a bit old. It's an old game. Also probably $50 you can buy it for. Why not just charge? If the games are going to cost $70, why not just charge the normal price for a video game for these things? Why are they more expensive? Why are they $80? For Breath of the Wild, why not just make it $60? Because Breath of the Wild's been out for ages. No one who bought Breath of the Wild originally is gonna be mad that you can buy the new one with the DLC for $60. Or Tears of the Kingdom. Why Tears of the Kingdom is $80, by the way, because it's $70 plus the $10. So why not just make it the price of the game at this point? It's ridiculous. It's just greedy. There's actually no reason because these games already exist. They've already been the price they've been forever, right? No one cares if you drop. No one who owns the Switch 1 games are gonna be mad that you can buy the Switch 1 fucking thing for cheaper, right? It's ridiculous. It's absolutely insane.
Yeah, because they think they can get away with it. We'll see if that actually happens. These prices are pretty stupid, especially the game prices. It's
the game prices and the whole paid upgrade thing in general. Both the PlayStation and the Xbox set the precedent that these upgrades, these next gen versions of games would for the most part be free, right?
Yeah. Most of them have been free.
Xbox has smart delivery, whatever they call it. PlayStation has PlayStation 5 versions of PS4 games, right? And obviously they've made PS5 versions of PS4 games, but they're full on remakes, like The Last of Us Part 1, right? Which I think is fucking ridiculous, or they had a Horizon Zero Dawn made for PS5 version, right? Which is ridiculous, but at least it's a fucking you can still just use the PS4 version upgraded on them, right? So yeah. What else was there?
Also, yes, these new remasters, they're not adding any new content as far as I know. They're basically just running the games at a higher frame rate, maybe a higher resolution, and that's probably it.
For the Switch 1 to Switch 2 games, there are a couple things they're adding DLC, basically. The Kirby games.
For Mario Party, but that was it, right?
No, Kirby's adding a whole new level and stage thing for the Forgotten Land version.
Oh, okay.
And Breath of the Wild is adding new features to the Switch 2 version. There's a app that you can use to get a game guide, and you can share your creations in Tears of the Kingdom using this fucking app thing. But it's very minor. It's not a lot. It's not a worth the DLC type thing. These are the kind of things that would be free to encourage you to go spend money on a Switch 2 if you own a Switch 1. These should all be free upgrades. So if you own a Switch 1, you have, I've got all these Switch 1 games. If I go and buy a Switch 2 and spend $500 on it, I can have all these extra things for my games. No, you have to pay for it for no reason.
Yeah, the incentives are pretty bad.
What's the incentive? I have to pay extra? I guess, and they're saying, oh, well, if you have the Switch Online, fucking Breath of the Wild, the upgrade for those are free if you have Switch Online. The expansion pass, by the way, not the fucking cheap one. Do you know that when F-Zero GX was shown for NSO, it was in 4x3, even though the game has a 16x9 mode? I did not know that. Maybe you can go into the settings and change it to 16x9 mode, but if all those GameCube games run in 4x3, when there are 16x9 versions of almost all GameCube games, by the way, either they, well, not all GameCube games, but a good chunk of GameCube games have 16x9 modes. Either they had HD remakes like Wind Waker did, or they had Wii remakes in 16x9 like Pikmin, or Pikmin 2. Or Chibi Robo. Chibi Robo had a 16x9 remake on Wii. Right? It did. So, like, why are you running 4x3 for fucking GameCube games? I just don't understand this. Like, and also, why the fuck are they doing Wind Waker instead of just releasing Wind Waker HD? Are they gonna do Wind Waker HD and Twilight Princess HD again? Or are they just gonna do the GameCube versions? Like, why are they releasing the... I understand Wind Waker is divisive in terms of which version is better, but Twilight Princess HD is objectively way better than regular Twilight Princess.
Okay, wait, Gahul. Okay, so you said that thing about the Switch 2 version of Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Fagdom, having like a thing where you could share a creation with people.
Yeah.
And it kind of like it sparked an ancestral memory. Does everybody remember Halo 3? Does everybody remember how Bungie like had like the Foundry mode, right? And remember how you could like share all of that stuff for free, right? Yeah. And it was actually it was web integrated, right? Like you could just go. It was so easy to just go download somebody's like Foundry creation on the maps, and all of this was for free in 2007, right? Like 14 years, like actually more than 14 years ago. Fuck that. That's almost like it's Jesus Christ. It's literally almost 2 decades ago, right? All of this was a possibility, right? So why in the fuck, irrespective of even the fact that like, oh, this is like, even if it was like a hypothetically like this is an okay upgrade. I'm sorry, I can't read the chat at the moment, so respect anybody in the chat. But why the fuck are like this is like technological regression, right? We're literally experiencing technological regression in real time, where Bungie could innovate to such an extent. I remember playing all of these crazy like Foundry maps and all the fucking games you could make and all this shit, and it just came baked in. This is not even considering like Counter-Strike like stuff, right?
Yeah.
All of this stuff is not like it's not something that needs to be charged for.
You should not be paying money for it. That's true.
Yeah. Well, charging for it also, and like making it something where it's like you're charging for it is like it's stultifying the entire industry, right? It's ossifying everything you could do, right? Because if this stuff was just like baked into almost every single game, we could be doing new shit, new things, right?
Yeah, but they can't do that. They just have to keep charging us for the old shit that was already there.
They're charging the tutorial game.
Hold on, stoned Mexican guy. We're all friends with Brian Dunn.
I am not friends with Brian.
Dunn.
That's true.
No,
yeah.
Remember when we all went to Florida together?
Oh yeah, we went to Florida to play at a Commander event. We went to Florida to play a Commander Magic the Gathering together with Brian.
We went to Florida with Brian. We went to Disneyland, and
yeah, it was pretty epic.
You know,
and Brian absolutely. And Brian did not show us pictures of his daughter. Absolutely not. He did not show us pictures of his daughter.
Listen, I don't want to talk about Shaggy. Okay, guys. Shaggy, don't be talking about Brian and his fucking daughter. I don't want any of that fucking shit again. No offense. I don't want.
I'm not getting involved with that.
You need to stop it right now. I want to stop it right now.
I will not go down that road. I will respect your wishes,
brother.
Thank you. I don't want to deal with that.
But I can talk about Brian and his daughter.
No, you may not, Riz. I did not give you permission. I don't want to. I want to drop this right now. I do want to say something about Brian. I want to say something about Brian.
I would remind us all of the time that we had Brian Fest in Florida together.
Yes.
Okay.
Brian.
I want to say something about Brian though. I do want to say
I love you, Brian Dunn.
I don't
Brian Dunn. No bullshit.
Brian was on a stream last night, and him and
Brian
Perspic and Squire were talking about some boring shit about fucking Josh. Of course, this is actually good Josh Connor Moon drama, but they were making it so boring because they're just fucking awful at everything they do. And both Brian and Perspic called me a pedophile, and I just want to say something. Fuck both of you. I'm not a pedophile.
Hold on.
I'm not the one. No, fucking Shaggy. I'm gonna meet. I'm in the middle, so I'm sorry, not trying to be mean, but
let him.
Brian Squire. I was on a capo for a guy who was fucking dating a pedophile while I was their capo. All I'm gonna say is, you guys were fucking friends PPP, and his capos while he was fucking eating snacks. He was a literal fucking pedophile, right? Not even a joke pedophile, an actual shoot pedophile. So don't come around calling me, telling me I'm a fucking pedo. Well, you're the one who fucking associated with ones, okay? You're the one who was fucking in the calls with fucking snacks and shit, right? I'm not sure if calls with snacks, but don't come calling at me when you were fucking their capos. You were the fucking casino's capos while he was doing that shit. So, and you knew about it. I told everyone about it. And you still were fucking on his side about that. I didn't tell him until after he snaked you later that you turned on him. So, just want to say that. Fuck both of you.
Yeah.
Not cool.
Principals. Wait, did they actually call you like a? That's crazy. That's
It was
like
in college, in passing.
Pedophile.
Everyone called each other pedophiles online. So I'm not taking it super seriously because they just fucking call everyone
Right.
pedophiles.
Yeah,
It's just-
everyone calls everyone that. Like literally, it's like
It's just so gay.
It's like
It just
how black
sucks.
people call each other motherfucker, or how Jews
Yeah.
call everyone an ass.
Well, black people call each other
Or the
pedophiles now
Jews-
too. Look at fucking Drake and fucking what's his face, Kendrick shit breath. They call each other pedophiles too. It's just the thing to do. It's the next generation of insult, really.
Yeah.
No, the sector
It's a pretty old insult.
predicted the echelon, the highest echelon of black excellence.
Frankly,
and
I
shit,
think
calling each other pedophiles.
I think fucking
It's so
what's his face? What is that? Kill All Pedos, that guy who makes the AI voices, the Jim voice. I think he should win a Grammy just like Kendrick Lamar did because he does the exact same shit they do. So
Well, Brian Dunn called me a pedophile for basically saying
Brian,
take your daughter's picture off the internet, right?
Yeah.
Which is
Brian
like
has
the most
called us-
anti-
Brian Dunn has called us all pedophiles. We are all pedophiles
true.
in the eyes
in the eyes of the
such a
of
tradition.
penitent Christian and honest father Brian Dunn.
honest family man, wonderful
Yeah.
family man, Bri.
I call him
We
best
love
friend
Bri.
Brian.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
and I'll always remember our time together in Florida when we
When we all went down there, we all played in the Magic
Wow.
events, and we scrubbed out because
I think
it was
Brian's mad that
Commander.
no one
and-
came and watched his fucking Magic the Gathering Commander stream. Who's watching that, Brian? No offense. It'd be like if I started fucking doing Roblox streams all of a fucking sudden. Like, this isn't like if you want me to do fucking Magic the Gathering Commander streams, make a new channel and stream it there. Make a new channel and make a Magic the
viewership on this
Gathering
stream.
stream. You get the exact same amount of fucking
Google's
viewers.
viewership on this stream instantly spikes by like 10,000 people, right? Go Roblox streams. Oh, that would be so good.
Hey, look what Stone Mexican guy said. Read that.
No,
Read what Stone
I'm not
Mexican
reading what that's what you
said.
said.
Read it.
that.
Read it.
No.
I would read it, but I can't see the chat. I
Read
can't.
it.
Oh wait, no, I can read the chat.
I
Give
heard
me a
Bri
second.
Bri
Best
pool parties are off
comment
the hook.
ever.
Can I confirm? I've never been to a Bri Bri pool
It's
party,
the
so I
best
can't
comment
confirm.
ever. It's the best comment ever. Read it.
I'm gonna go try to find it and read it. Okay, Shaggy?
No,
'Cause
don't
I'm
you fucking do it, Riz. I'm serious. I'll fucking leave this. I'll end the stream right now. I don't want that shit. No.
Oh,
offense.
really?
Yeah, I'm not
Oh,
doing it.
okay. It's
But
that
it's
it's
such a
that
great
not
comment.
nice.
Yeah, man.
love
I
that
understand.
comment.
I understand, man. But I'm just not engaging that right now. I don't want to do that. It's a bit too much for me.
All right, fine.
I'm a bit too much of a moral fag. I'm just a bit too much. I'm old fucking.
But
old angsty.
listen, I mean,
I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna definitely read it.
You can read,
but
just
I
don't read
won't read it
aloud.
out loud.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got it. Okay. No,
My
it's
Warhammer
fine.
painting
Sorry.
stream. Tried to, yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
Shiba.
You notice I never have done a Warhammer painting stream since, even though I love Warhammer painting. For one, I don't have a good streaming setup for it, and also it's probably not that entertaining for you guys to watch me paint Warhammer videos. It's just not the right content for what you guys want. I can maybe make a new YouTube channel where I paint Warhammer minis, but it's not. It shouldn't be on this channel. It doesn't make any sense.
so yeah, but we should
Farted.
definitely
I farted.
we should definitely have best friend Brian on the show.
Oh,
now.
that
That's-
whoa, still Mexican guy. You're
Yeah.
going a little bit.
I
Yeah,
don't want
that's a
Brian on the
little
show.
bit.
I don't want to associate with Brian again after what he did to Donkey Kong. I've seen
Oh,
what he did
he's
to,
for magic cards, eh?
after I've seen what
it's
fucking
so it
Brian did to
is.
Donkey Kong. I don't want to be associated with him ever again. That's a sick. That guy's a sick fuck. Piece of shit. What can
I
you
mean,
say?
Okay,
listen,
but still Mexican guy. No, wait. I read the comments. All I want to say is like just slow your roll, brother. Like just slow your roll.
No, dude, I'm
Yes,
actually
yes.
impressed.
No,
I'm
Shaggy.
actually-
Hey
Yes,
guys,
yes.
let's move on
Shaggy.
because it's getting
Let's
late.
move
I want to
on.
wrap this stream up. So
All
I've
right,
been
let's
going for
wrap it up.
about. I just want to wrap it up because I think I said everything I have to say about the Switch 2 now. I feel better. All I will say is before I close, I just want to make a couple comments about stuff. There are obviously paid media shills on fucking Twitter right now defending the Switch 2 price. this one guy with the fucking games were this in this year, right? Went from defending the price of the games to then admitting, yeah, I lied about the price of the games. I admitted I lied about the price of the NES. To saying, no, I'm not. I told him he should take the post in because it's fucking deceptive and misleading, which it is. Right? I think it is absolutely fucking. He's absolutely lying and spreading misinformation on the internet.
Right.
And let me see if I can find my post. And then he says, so he goes through, and I say, hey, listen, what you're saying is incorrect. You are posting incorrect information. And then out of nowhere he says, I say, you're posting misleading information. Then he says to me, this what's pretty awesome is that you can buy Zelda in 2025 for $600, and that's what it cost in 1998. The rest of the world got more expensive, but companies kept gaming relatively cheap. Am I set to pay more? No. Do I understand why, though? Yes. No. Zelda did not cost $60 in 1998. This is fucking ridiculous. And
yeah, it's a misunderstanding of inflation, right? It's just like a fucking misunderstanding of how inflation operates, because it's literally it's like he's posting about how he's getting robbed, right? Because inflation is just fucking robbery at the end of the day, right? It's just fucking robbery. It's the dilution of a monetary value to a specific extent. So it's like, well, and it wasn't like that back in that time, right? It was like, okay, if this game cost this sort of thing, it was like you weren't getting more money, but your money, every dollar went further, right?
Yes.
Every dollar went further. You could buy like the dollar meal was an actual dollar meal, right? Like, or a 50-cent meal or something like this. So if you're making the argument that,
I mean,
go ahead.
And also, frankly, the whole argument that inflation, you say, oh, adjust this for price of inflation, adjust this for price of inflation. The problem is that inflation does not correlate to the real mean wage of the average American citizen. I don't think it is fair or honest to continue to calculate what prices were back in the 80s and 90s to what they are now via inflation. The actual average wage of the American household has not increased commensurate with inflation for multiple decades now. It is far more realistic and better. It's a far more realistic and better expression of what the value of the dollar was to the average American person. Because, I mean, inflation's based on fucking, stock market and federal and, the Fed, right? It's not based on what the actual average person actually has in terms of disposable income every month, right? That's why game prices have stayed the same for so long. Even though inflation has changed a lot over the last 20 years, right? Obviously, inflation...
Right.
In 2003, a game that came out that was $50 would be $86 now, right? So, but obviously games weren't $86 for all this long. So why is that? That is because the average wage of the American people has not increased with inflation since, for sure, before the year 2000, probably since the 80s, right? So, I mean, I could pull up that numbers here. So even if we adjust for what's inflation, the Switch 2 is still the most expensive console Nintendo's ever released. But if we adjust via the average wage, the Switch 2 is by far and away the most expensive console Nintendo's ever released, by a significant amount. So, no, this whole argument that, games were they kept it inexpensive to fight the economy. The games were kept that price because that's what the average person can afford.
But Gahul, this exact thing happened, right? This exact thing also happened in the past. Do you remember like the 80s into the 90s, like gaming bubble burst that it exploded, right? Like a bunch of companies went under, right?
Yeah.
Like this thing has happened before, right? So
I think,
it's not the the economic.
I think
No, go ahead.
The gaming market as it is could burst. I mean, I don't think Microsoft will ever go under as a company because they are too backed up. Because Xbox division might close.
It's all of their business stuff. No, it's all of their business. They're intertwined in too many businesses who use their licenses.
Right, but
Xbox, fucking gay.
But they shut the Xbox division down, right? And I think PlayStation is in real danger because they don't have, their parent company Sony relies on PlayStation a lot for their funds. Like PlayStation is propping Sony up as a company, realistically. So if PlayStation starts to dip in terms of profit, they're fucked. So the gaming market is pretty fragile, actually, despite them being held by massive corporations. Nintendo has
Well,
big funds now, and they've
Oxygen-
got big, deals with movie companies and studios and theme parks and stuff. But
Oxygen Railway says the video game industry have mega investment during COVID and they went fucking crazy. But they invested into like Ludwig and like Twitch streamers and like and things that are like
they invested into the
intangibles,
wrong
right?
things.
They invested into the wrong things because everybody was just like,
So-
okay, the money printer can keep going because we are effectively substantiating a social.
Nintendo's a billion-dollar corporation. Nintendo is a massive corporation with large media partnerships. They
Nintendo is worth $80 billion.
Yeah, they are
But
not
are
a
they-
small
but-
company.
But the question, but are they actually worth $80 billion like tangible, right? Like, are
No.
they actually like? Yeah, obviously not. Yeah, obviously not.
Well,
So
they
it's
do-
like
in terms of
it's-
if you sold Nintendo today, if you sold off all their assets piecemeal, you get $80. $80 billion, I would think.
you get 350.
You get 350.
350.
You could get $80 billion. I think if you consider like their rights that they've sold for theme parks, the rights they've sold for
I'd violate them for $8 billion.
they're a multi-media.
If I was
If
feeling
this was
generous.
pre-Switch, you would have a
Nope.
point. But post,
Nope.
Why do you say no? What do you say no to what I'm saying?
No, because I'm saying that I'd dog walk them. I'd try to dog walk them to 1/10. If I was buying Nintendo, sorry, I might have misunderstood the question. I would dog walk them to ruthlessly undercut them because I know their entire divisions are retarded. Everything they do is retarded.
No. If we're talking not about what the employees, I'm talking in terms of just their actual assets, right? In terms of like their IP and like the value of their IP, whatever, that you could sell to different media companies. Like if you sold the rights to Super Mario Brothers to like Sony,
how many?
They pay a lot of money for that.
I guess there's an equation of how many Mark Manns exist relative to how much money can be put out. I guess, which would be the Bing Bong Wahoo, sort of the Bing Bong Wahoo equation, right?
Coolio
I guess that would be.
He's moving over to high-end emulation of Nintendo, i.e. Xbox Series S, Dolphin, etc. setup. Switch 2 such underpowered slop, totally not with it. Now, to be fair, the Switch 2 seems to be performing in some multi-platform games better than the Series S that I've seen, right? Like, Street Fighter 6 is running better on Series S, running better on Switch 2 than it does on Series S. That being said, the Series S is like $300, right? It's significantly cheaper. It's not even a fair comparison. Yeah, the IP that Nintendo's tied up in Pokemon. They've got an ownership share in the Pokemon company. That alone is worth billions and billions of dollars, right? That's what.
I don't know. I think you got to get out while you're ahead. I don't think you can.
What are you trying to argue? I don't think that there's.
My argument is that you should not speculate in the price of Bitcoin if you're gonna hold. Like I'm just using Bitcoin as an example,
Bitcoin
right? Like
isn't Pokemon.
I would not. No. Well, Bitcoin might be better than Pokemon, but I think they're about equivalent in terms of like how whoever's fanatical about them is investing in them, right? Investing into these environments, right? Like it's the same sort of person, kind of. And I think if you're going to hold on Pokemans, you need to.
I'm sorry,
you need to hold it.
You're
No, but
arguing
you
going into
no.
incoherence. I don't understand what you're trying to say. Are you telling me that if you tried to sell all Nintendo's assets in terms of IP rights, movie deals that they already have coming up, that they have like partnerships?
I don't think they have as much cultural influence. I don't think they have. I don't think they have as much cultural influence as. And I think the thing that if you were future proofing for like investing, right? Like if they make this bungle,
just
right?
stop.
If they bungle with the Switch
Just stop.
2.
Risk, just stop.
No. Please let me make my point. If they bungle with the Switch 2, they let all this shit go. They don't take anybody's critique. They don't let anybody like they change nothing, right? They change nothing about the problems you've laid out for them. It's like their IP is going to be substantially implicated as a consequence of this. And we're coming into a generation where like look, kids did not grow up with Pokemon Blue, like Red and Blue, right? We're coming in a generation where they're like 20 to there's a future cadre of 20 to 30-year-olds who did not grow up with the sort of like link cable, like Game Boy, like sort of like socializing, like it was a socializing activity, the initial Pokemon games, right? I think that was a big thing. I remember when I was a child, I went to my parents went to we went to like a swim resort, or whatever. We went to like a water park or whatever. No fucking Diddy. But we went to a water park when I was a kid, and I got a cheated Mew from a kid at the water park. And he told me about the copy glitch, right? And I copied my Arcanine for him, and I traded it to him. And it's like that thing is not happening. Those sorts of like embedded memories are not being put into.
I'm sorry, but you're wrong.
No, please let me.
No, you're absolutely incorrect. What you're saying is true.
Okay,
True.
well, just let me finish my. Okay, but just let me finish my point.
Your point is finished.
Okay. No. My point is not Shiba. What I'm saying is that if there's no ability to reach and to make an impression upon a populace with an IP, like if it looks like shit, kids know it looks like shit, and it plays like shit. I don't think I don't think it has the appreciative value,
You're
even
incorrect.
with the.
Why?
Okay.
So you're
okay.
you're wrong
okay.
for a number
Why
of
am I
reasons. Pokemon.
incorrect?
You're number two reasons. Pokemon. So obviously, objectively, for a couple reasons. Number one, Pokemon has looked like shit since the 3DS generation, and it is the biggest it's ever been with little kids. Pokemon with little children is more popular than it ever has been. It is continuing to appreciate in value every year. That's because Pokemon is a multimedia empire. The games can suck like ass.
I prefer Pal World, frankly. The idea of being
Shaggy. No offense. I
I
understand what you're saying, but Pal World is a niche game for like adults. Pokemon is a massive.
Well, it's also an AI Slappa game. It's an AI Slappa game inherently.
The Pokemon games haven't been good for multiple, like a decade, maybe more. But it doesn't matter because the kids aren't playing the Pokemon games. They are watching the Pokemon show and buying the Pokemon cards. Pokemon cards and Pokemon Go. They're also playing Pokemon Go all the time, right? So through the combination of the Pokemon media empire, not just Pokemon the video games, but Pokemon the media fucking conglomeration, right? The show, the movies, the fucking game, everything.
Yeah. That's where all the value. That's where the value. Plus,
Pokemon
Pokemon the games are actually like lost leaders. Like they're lost leaders almost, right?
I mean, they use them to develop the new Pokemon that they make the money selling the cards and doing the show. Pokemon is more popular now than it was when we were kids, objectively. I think people don't understand that Pokemon with children is the most popular it's ever been. And a lot of kids don't play the games even. They're just collecting the cards and they're watching the show. And maybe they're playing Pokemon Go on their phones, right?
Why are we talking about what kids do?
Because we're talking about the value of... For some reason, Riss is arguing to me that...
God damn it, Shaggy. Shaggy, fuck you, Shaggy.
Listen,
I love you, Shaggy, but fuck you.
No, here's the problem. Riss is trying to argue to me that Nintendo's not worth $80 billion for whatever reason, which I disagree because I think if you sold everything Nintendo has...
No. What I'm saying is if Nintendo got sold for $80 billion... My specific argument is that if Nintendo got sold for $80 billion right now and you were the guy selling it, you would make out like a bandit, because I don't think in the next couple of years it's going to be worth anywhere. It's actually going to plummet.
It absolutely would be. I think it would be worth $80 billion. I think that their gaming division...
No way.
I think they've shored up everything. The reality is Nintendo has made major investments in their multimedia side besides the gaming division. If it was just Nintendo, the gaming company, 10, 15 years ago during the Wii U era, you'd have a point. But that's not the same company we're talking about now. This is a company that has major movie deals, multiple fucking major gaming IPs. They could sell to competitors, right? You could sell that shit if it wasn't Nintendo type of the Nintendo hardware.
Okay.
You're talking about a totally different world here.
Okay, I see. I see.
Nintendo, the theme park company, Nintendo, the merchandising company. Like, this is like they've expanded beyond gaming.
But I guess the only other argument I would have, no, I see what you're saying, but their lost leader is the thing that kind of like it's like you know, like an angler. It's like an anglerfish's. It's an anglerfish's glow bulb, right? It's an anglerfish's. Anglerfish's glow bulb, right?
Yeah.
Where it's like their lost leader pulls you into the maw of like becoming a Nintendo whatever the fuck freak.
Yeah.
It's like Disney kind of, right? Like Disney has these things,
a better comparison is actually Marvel. Because Marvel is a media empire that has movies and video games and theme parks and toys and all this shit, but it comes from the comic books. What's the source? And the Marvel comic books have made no money and are making zero sales, and they are shit, and they've been shit since like the 2000s, I would say, maybe the mid to late 2000s, right? I mean, I can't think of anything that's been happening. So
Yeah, I'm not familiar as much with comics, but the whole Eric July or whatever the fuck his name is thing, all of these alt comic things, even having drama around them, like
doesn't matter.
gives me an indication that
it's
no,
irrelevant.
what
I mean,
I'm saying is that there's I'm agreeing with what you're saying, that there's like an alternative market for like other things, right?
No, what I'm saying is that like if you look at Nintendo and Marvel in very similar positions as like companies, if you think about it like this. Because where all the Marvel IP, where all like the movies and whatever it comes from, the source of all that information is the comic books. That's where all the games, the characters, the toys, everything comes from. The origin of all that shit, the creative origin is the comic books. And the creative origin for all the Nintendo shit is the video games. And the reality is the Marvel comic book business has financially failed for 20 years. They are being outsold by literally any comic industry at all. Like anything in like any like comic, right?
Any manga, I agree.
The majority of the Western comic industry is being held up by Captain Underpants and Dogman. Right,
I love Captain Underpants.
The majority of the Western universe is fucking the Western comic market is Dav Pilkey and Scholastic Books, and that's them. They're the majority. They're the ones who sell comics the most. So even if Nintendo shat the complete bed and their games stop selling like anything, they've totally their games are just fucking disaster. They've already set themselves up as a media empire where the majority profits are actually not going to come from the games anymore. It's going to come from the movies and the fucking theme parks and the toys and the merchandising. That's what's going to make them the money.
What's the driver? What's the driver to putting like butts in seats, eyeballs on screens, right? Like I guess that's my thing. I think
they've already themselves. Like, what's the driver to get people to go see Marvel movies now? Because the comic book fans don't even like Marvel anymore. So
absolutely nothing. Absolutely, I don't fucking know. I feel like it's USAID, right? Like I feel like it's actually USAID, literally.
No,
that would be.
So the reason why people are still the thing is
maybe
Marvel
that
was
sounds
like
retarded,
that
but
when the MCU was at its highest peak, the comic book industry the comics were already selling like in like 2019, the comics were selling like ass. Right when Marvel was its most popular in the mainstream collective, because they'd already set the motion of the film and like toy and alt video game industry to back it up and like reinforce its main thing. So the main creative thing where the whole origin of this whole fucking media empire came from went to shit, and it didn't matter because the train was already rolling, the money ball was already flowing.
Right, the inertia,
and then
the inertia had already been accumulated, right?
And the reality is the toys in the game, the toys and shit, and the merchandising for Marvel still sells to kids really well because it's already like a property that they know. It's when they go to the store, they think it's like it's everywhere. It's not like, you know, back in the day, like you wouldn't maybe get like a couple Mario shirts at the store. Right, and you wouldn't see like Mario on TV and Mario in movies and Mario and whatever. You'd see Pokemon on TV and games, and Pokemon was one of the exceptions. That's why it's such a valuable property because you'd see it everywhere.
Right.
But now
Mario
and Zelda and all Zelda's probably gonna be like that once the Zelda movie comes out. Right, the whole thing is gonna be like that. That's the plan, and they've already started the plan. And so even if the gaming industry, their gaming division fucks up and fails them now, they are fine. As a company, they aren't going to care. But the reality is they're not that secure. They don't have a company like Disney backing them up to make the movies. The reality is Nintendo's in a much more fragile position than Marvel was, even though they're already trying to do the same thing that Marvel was. They're doing the same playbook, right? It doesn't matter because it's going to take them. They aren't quite across that line yet where they could fuck up completely in their gaming division and not have it destroy their entire company. So
that's fair.
But if you sold Nintendo today, if you fired everyone, you fired all their talent and you just sold their assets, you would make over $80 billion, I think. If you divide up all the things individually.
I don't agree with that because I think personnel is policy, right? I think personnel is like I think you're discounting. It's the fact that the company it looks like because of and I would use the proof of this whole Switch rollout as an example of like they have check your DMs. Check your DMs, Mr. Hooligan. You have somebody who wants to get in here, respectfully.
Okay, we got someone in here. Hello.
Yeah, we got somebody. Yo.
What's up, dude?
What's up, my brother? But so like.
Hello? Oh, no, it's working. Sorry, go ahead.
The analogy I make with Bitcoin is not because of like the fact that whatever they're related to each other in like a practical sense, but it's the fact that it's like you can revitalize a Nintendo IP, right? I think that's not the argument I'm making. What I'm saying is that their personnel is scuppering their policy and scuttling all of their good capital to such an extent, especially with this Switch move, right? Which on an economic level, on an engineering level, is like so fucking insanely bad, right? And then we see these new games that are coming out, and it's like, okay, these IPs are being fucking tarnished, right? This Donkey Kong game is not a good game, right? It's not a fucking good game. It's not gonna be a fucking good game. Apologies, Donkey Kino respecter.
We'll see. We'll see what happens.
I don't know.
We've seen so far, it hasn't been that promising, but I have faith in Donkey Kong.
In general, I like being negative, and I'm realistic about how this thing looks, but I actually hope I'm wrong, because I'd rather this be a good game that I eventually get to play one day.
I would rather things be good too.
How that Donkey Kong game is gonna be good. There's no way in hell.
Thank you, it's Shaggy, the wonderful pessimist. Love you, Shaggy.
I think the new Mario Kart doesn't look too bad, but anyway, go on.
No, but the
Pleasure, Buster. What do you?
I'm sorry. No, but sorry. Go hold. Just let me finish my point, and then I'll let just let me finish my point. If you're into Bitcoin, you should not be using it to day trade, right? You should just be holding it. You're like, okay, this is a solid thing. It's a solid element. If it goes up to 500,000 and then falls to 100,000, it doesn't matter, because there is a specific element about this, about the protocol, about how people are interacting with the protocol, where it's like, okay, I trust this regardless, right? What other people's evaluation of it means is not relevant, right? The thing I mean with the Nintendo thing,
please start responding to Stone Mexican guy's comments.
No, we aren't going to respond to his comments. His comments are
probably true. He's probably already broken that deal.
Brian can trade his daughter for a Switch 2. Will Brian do this? Brian was saying I'm going to buy 5 Switch 2s. Maybe he wants me to buy one so he can trade. I don't know. It's kind of a fucking horrible thing to say, but
no, go you gotta extract something out of Brian in order for him to come on the stream in the future.
You have to play a Magic the Gather. You have to play a Magic the Gather Commander game.
I have to summon. I have to create a summon card. Listen, I play Yu-Gi-Oh! Not Magic.
He has to buy you a Switch 2. He has to send you a Switch 2. Goal. That's the only way he can go on the stream ever again.
Brian, if you send me a Switch 2, like you promised me you would, and a copy of the new Donkey Kong game,
with all of the gizmos, all the doodads, all of the everything,
there has to be a copy of Donkey Kong Bonanza in the Switch when he gets it.
There better be. That's all I'm going to say. I know Donkey Kong doesn't come out till later this year, but I know you have early access to it, man. I know you
that is imperative. And Gahul will lift the Donkey Kong curse off of your bitch ass. All right, Bri. All right.
You're going to ask me something, Gahul?
Okay.
Yeah, man. So what are your thoughts? I haven't actually talked to you about this yet. I'm actually curious because I know you are both a Switch. You are both. You're in between on whether you like Nintendo. Doesn't matter.
It is what it is.
You talked for a long time. You got. I
know. It is what it is.
What do you honestly think about the Switch 2 stuff? What do you think about the games that you've seen and how it looks so far? I'm curious.
No, I absolutely hate the new Donkey Kong look. I didn't really see what you meant about the levels looking AI. It just looks like Mario Odyssey type shit. The levels looked whatever. I mean,
the levels are worse than Mario Odyssey.
I hate the design so fucking much. I don't think I could get past it. But maybe it'll be an okay game. I don't know.
I would compare the levels in fidelity and art direction more to a Skylanders than a Mario Odyssey. I would disagree with that. It's significantly worse. It's very ugly looking in terms of how the levels look. Maybe that's just me. Maybe it's what I've seen.
That's fair. It didn't look particularly compelling. I feel like if the gameplay was that compelling, I'd probably look past the look of Donkey Kong. But yeah, it just doesn't interest me in general. I like Mario Kart. There needs to be a fucking new Mario Kart. I mean, we've had the same one for 10 years. I mean, sure. It's just not worth the fucking price to me.
Were you watching earlier when I looked through the gameplay shit they were doing? So the whole,
I did not.
So the whole gimmick of the gimmick of the new Mario Kart is that it's supposed to be like Forza Horizon, but Mario Kart, right? It's an open world Mario Kart. That's the idea.
That's kind of dumb.
But the problem is that in the Grand Prix mode, which is the main mode of Mario Kart, it's not open world. What happens is, so the idea would be after you finish the one race, then you drive to the next, and then you do the lap of that race, right? But if you look at the actual Grand Prix mode, what happens is you finish the lap of the first course, then the fucking whole thing resets, and then you all get put back to like your positions at the start of the the starting positions at the first race, and then you have to drive the whole way to the other track, and then do the loop there. And then you have to drive, and then it resets you back to where it was, and then drives the whole way. So there's like multiple loading screens that happen that like stop you from like just going flow between each race, right? Which is like, what's the point then? Why is it open world if you have to? And why do I have to drive in this fucking straightaway?
Yeah,
Every map's gonna be like that.
I have to
That's what the Grand Prix is gonna be like. That's every Grand Prix is gonna be like that. Yes.
I don't think that's
The
true.
Mexican guy
That's
says Gahul is gatekeeping his chat now. He feels he fears the truth tellers. I don't think that's
SMG
true,
is a
Mexican
mod.
guy.
You're the mod in the thing.
Yeah, he's literally a Janny. Like, how the fuck?
And listen, I'm going off of what
I think the question at hand.
Donkey
It's
and
over.
Bonanza. I'm going off of what I saw on the fucking gameplay thing. I don't. But
No,
yeah,
that's fair. Yeah.
Kildare
fuck that
says
then.
wrist
There's
is
only
dumb.
two
News
things.
at 11. There are
There's only
four
two things. I'll go
Donkey
ahead.
Kong is two things. Yeah. God bless you, Coach. We love you, Coach. We love you, Coach Rapel. No,
Chris,
sorry, continue.
I mean,
No, you're good. Only two things I liked about the direct. Deltarune, gotta have my Toby slop tranny core.
of course, yeah. Well, I haven't played that day one, but
yeah.
it's also like 25
We
bucks on
love-
PC.
Yeah, I'm happy about that. I know we're not
This-
necessarily. I'm just telling you. Okay, as far as like the Switch 2 itself, I like the mouse mode thing. Again, I would never fucking play Metroid Prime with the fucking Switch Joy-Con, but if I did own a Switch 2, I hope that means I could, in theory, use like a normal computer mouse and use that for, because I can't stand playing FPS games as a controller. I'm just not used to. It's been so fucking long. I just can't do it.
I will say something. There is something to the idea that you could have a controller side in one hand with like with an analog stick and a mouse in the other hand for aiming. Because the one downside I find with keyboard and mouse
That's
for like
fine.
moving is that analog stick for moving in 3D space is much better, but aiming with a mouse is so much better. It's one of the reasons why people like gyro aim on their controllers and stuff.
Narrow take.
But like and that's also like a lot of those like keyboard grips that people have, right? Those like double hand things. They have like joysticks built into them. I thought one of those
Sure.
might be kind of cool, right? I think a joystick is an analog stick is still the best way to move a character in 3D space. It's obviously the best way to do
Yeah.
this. So
Postinho-
keyboard and mouse is significantly worse, I would say, in terms of moving that. But obviously for first-person shooter games, it's much more intuitive to have a fucking mouse to move and to move your face around, right? But
And
Postinho
what I love-
Weasel is living rent free in Ashton Park's head, so you gotta go like Weasel your way in there. No pun intended.
Oh, you were saying that for the Grand Prix, there's basically an intermediate track race in between each course. Is that what you're saying?
there is a so you leave. So there's at the end of at least based on what I'm seeing from the gameplay, right? After the first race ends, you start then at the beginning of the first race, and you have to drive on this straightaway that's like the physical like world distance between the first track and the next track, and then you do like a loop of that next track, right? So that fucking straightaway, so that like that final loop is the actual like track, right? So if you picked it out on the world map, you wanted to do the whatever it was, Donkey Kong's fuck me festival factory, the Donkey Kong fuck me factory track, right? If you just went to just do that track, you would just do the loop of that track. But if you do it in the Grand Prix mode, you have to drive in this like world map for part of the way to get to the next track, and then the actual track is the actual track, right?
Yes, that's what I'm seeing. So what I'm seeing is that is part of the race itself, that straightaway, and then it's basically a straightaway. There's one section, then there's just one loop of the actual track that you're talking about.
Right. So my thought was when this first came out, maybe I was wrong. I thought it would be after the first race ends, you just drive to the next race. There's no loading screens. There's no fucking downtime. If I'm going to have a loading screen and a reset of position and downtime in between each lap, I would much rather just be driving on the actual track rather than this kind of like fucking straightaway through like this road to get to the next one.
No, I agree with that. I'd rather just be the old style where you just drive around in a loop on the actual track
The whole
itself.
idea of it being the open world would be that, or open world like this, and the there being like roads between the tracks, is that you wouldn't have to have any loading times. You'd just be driving the whole time. The whole race would be like that. And I guess that's what
like the knockout.
The knockout mode, but isn't the knockout mode if you finish below a certain place, you get eliminated from the race?
Yeah, it's like a battle royale race where
Right.
4 people get eliminated in the next 4 until there's only 4 left during the last race.
Yeah, which is fine. I mean, that's a great idea for a game mode. It's wonderful. It's a great game mode, right? But it's not the same thing as like the Grand Prix of Mario Kart, right? Where it's all, and the knockout mode is also way longer. It's like multiple races. It's like multiple Grand Prix basically. And also you can have you can have like, tracks in between Grand Prix. It's like it looks like it was about like 8 or 12 races.
The knockout mode is 6 different individual straightaways basically. That's how that mode works. I was watching it earlier. So it should actually be shorter than a Grand Prix. So it's about half the length of a Grand Prix, is what it sounds like.
Wait, 6 individual tracks? But do you just do
Correct.
it once?
Yes. Well, I'm guessing they'll vary in length, but the one I was watching was 6 different straightaway style tracks. You know, the intermediate, the first race of a Grand Prix track, basically. In the new game, because the new game it's all weird where it's essentially 3 different individual tracks for each course in a Grand Prix, aside from the very first one, which looks like a more traditional Mario Kart. You loop around.
Why don't they just focus test with the sector for video games? I feel like
if you look at like Forza Horizon, the way I think that they set it up pretty easily there. It's like you drive to the race, you do your race, and then you drive to the next mode and you do it there, right? Like what's so hard about just doing that? Why'd they have to make it fucking complicated now? All these loading times and shit for Grand Prix, and
well, I mean, it's nothing different from the old Grand Prix. It's just the structure of each race is different, and that rather than it being always a looping track, it's a straightaway, and then some kind of intermediate track between the straightaway and the actual looping track, and then you do a single loop of the track.
But the reason why the looping tracks are fun is because it's a kart racer, not a fucking like.
No, I agree. I'd much rather it just be looping tracks the entire time. It's weird that you only do a single loop of the actual looped track.
Yeah, like, why is it?
Thank you, Coolio Top Notch, for just recognizing my comment. God bless. Sorry, I won't interrupt.
At the very least, can we agree that the clip
on Twitter
and Fedful entertaining clusterfuck launch reminds me of the old classic launch of 360 PS3. Lots of memes and laughs so far. That's true. I am angry enough to be doing a stream just about this because I'm pissed about it. I'm not excited or happy about it at all. But it does.
Yeah, at least with the 360 and the PS3, it was like, okay, you could. PS3 had no games, but like.
But you was still something to look for. There's still games you want to play on both things, but like.
Right, yeah. I remember Killzone.
I think I've got people here. What are your general thoughts, Pleasure Blaster and Riss, about the new FromSoft game? Do you care about this? Does it make any difference?
I don't even know. Wait, what is the new FromSoft game? I'm sorry. You said you said it was a PvP VE sort of thing, but I haven't watched anything about it.
So it's PvP VE, where you don't. It's just not create a character. You're just playing set characters based on what I've seen. You're playing like a set collection of vampires. So basically, it's like a FromSoft Overwatch game.
FromSoft Overwatch. Okay. I mean, that could be. I don't know. I don't know. It could be like okay, but what console is it on? I'm sorry,
Switch to exclusive.
It's switched to well, that's just fucking. I mean, that's just gross.
Yeah, that's honestly my take. I'm not even into the. Go ahead, Riss. Sorry.
No, it's okay. Well, playing through all of Elden Ring was like the for me, it was the swan song of, the whole Dark Souls thing. It was basically like, okay, we'll put everything together, right? We'll make the biggest sort of thing. We'll make it as comprehensive as possible, and we will and we'll ensure that like this is the definitive Souls game for people who want to play Souls games. But I feel like extending the formula after Elden Ring is gonna just. It's gonna grate on people, right? Because I don't think the formula is actually that good. Like, it's not a good PvP game, right? Frankly, if it's like a Souls-like, Souls-like games are not good PvP games. They aren't really skillful. It's just about builds. It's not really super meaningful. They don't have adequate competency for latency. Right. So it's like it's fun. It's fun if you're playing it like just figure out the sort of puzzle levels against the the NPCs. But I don't get people who fuck with Souls PvP unless they're trying to like they're like these nips who are like super challenging themselves, right? Like, I beat you up with only my fists because I know I can. I have frame one perfect, and it's like, if you have frame one perfect responses, why don't you play like Street Fighter? Why don't you play Third Strike, right? Why don't you play like a Street Fighter game? You know what I'm saying? Like,
No,
So I would say-
I really
Yeah,
like
man, I'll be
Elden
honest.
Ring. Elden Ring's a fun game, but I really enjoy the lore and the
Oh
world.
no, Shaggy. What I'm saying is the PvP. Like, so if it's a PvP VE game, I feel like that's gonna suck. I
If
feel
it's
like
not
that's
a
gonna
single
be
player,
like.
what you'd want to play this game
So
as a
that
single
night
player.
range shit, yeah, there's no way I'm getting invested in night range.
Yeah,
or
I'm
any
talking about
of
the new Dustblood
stupid
ones.
bullshit.
It's only
Yeah.
that. It's
I
only
would
PvE.
say PvP unless they really robustly like change up how interaction with people works, like other players works, so it's like a fun thing to kind of get into the groove of the mechanics, and it's like meaningful what choices you make. Like I feel like it's gonna suck balls. Like I feel like it's just gonna be shitty. They're fucking over a lot of fighting games too, though. Honestly, I know a lot of Street Fighter 6 players are mad because there was an update that came out that basically like fucked. Like there's just no way to defensively play anymore, so you just basically have to play. There was something crazy that happened, but yeah. So that's my opinion.
So I don't care. I read the article that this one guy sent me about how Mario Kart's tracks work. So essentially, what has happened is that the distance between it's considered the track, right? Is considered part of the race itself and considered part of the track. You get these rolling starts on these laps, and they're considered this race is not only getting from this part to this part, which if that's the case, I think it's a bad move. They should have just had it be the Grand Prix should just be you do the race and then you drive to the next race, right? What's wrong with that? What would be the problem with that? That's the whole point of doing an open world. I think that there's the fact that there's any stopping or waiting at any point during this defeats the purpose of there being it being open world. I think the reason why you want to go open world is that you can have a seamless gameplay experience, right? Maybe I'm wrong to assume that, but that's why you would do open world for any video game. So it can be seamless and there'd be no downtime in between actually playing. You just play the game, right? There's no wait time. I need to shave my head. It's really bad.
You think Dustblood
Excuse
will
me.
stay on the Switch too? Because that'll really suck if it does. A game like that, as I say, visually, I don't think that's well suited to something underpowered like a Switch. Like a game like that, you want to run something more powerful.
Looks like the Switch 2 is gonna be a little bit more powerful than the Series S from what we're seeing. So that's about what we're dealing with power wise. Because it was running better than Street Fighter 6 was running better on Switch 2 than it was on Series S from what we've heard. So
it also has NVIDIA hardware, so it has access to stuff like DLSS, which is a really powerful upscaling, AI-based upscaling solution.
North, I'm crying because I'm not going to give up my shekels to the Switch 2. I'm a Nintendo fanboy. I love Nintendo, and I'm upset because it's so bad. It's gotten so bad that I won't give them the money anymore. So that's what's going on.
Would you buy it if you could hack it and pirate all your games? Would that change your mind, even at that price point?
Maybe. No, even at that price, no. Even at that price point, no. If it was cheaper, I would buy it. If it was $400 and I still had all these issues with it, I would still buy it because I could at least still play my old Switch games on it. Even though I don't buy any Switch 2 games, because it'll play my original Switch games probably better, right?
If they lowered the price of the games but kept the console price the same, would you buy it?
Probably not, because I can't afford dumping that kind of money. Because it's at that, even if they dropped it by $50 to $400, right? For me personally, at $450 or more realistically with the game included $500, at $500 US dollars for what it should be $400 with Mario Kart included is what I think it should be. Just gonna say it. That's the price of the game. That's what it should be. Or it should at least include some kind of game at $400.
They should at least include the tutorial game that they're charging for. That is the most Jewish shit I've ever seen. If they're charging for a tutorial game.
All the upgrades for the old Switch 1 game should be free. I understand they want to charge, have an expansion pack for Kirby or a DLC for Kirby, right? For that's exclusive to Switch 2, that's fine. But don't make it the Switch 2 version of the game. Metroid Prime 4 should just be. Let me finish, Rist. I understand, but let me finish.
Yeah, I got you.
If this game, if it came out and was $400, I'd be okay. At $500 US dollars, realistically, for what you pay for a Switch 2 and one Switch 2 game, right? At that price point, I'm close enough to just be like, I need to buy a new gaming PC. $500 gets me to a majority of a brand new gaming PC, I would say. Because I'm planning to go, if you go the used market and stuff, if you, you're halfway there. It's $1,000 probably to build a gaming PC, right? Realistically, maybe a little bit more.
You know what you're doing.
It's more than that.
Yeah.
The prices have gone up a lot. But if you buy stuff on the used market, it'll be about $1,000.
even if you don't buy used, you can get Newegg bundles I've seen before which contain a lot of what you need. And if you underbuy in your GPU now, like, I mean, you can get pretty good deals. And in fact, even if you buy a gaming laptop, I had a friend who bought a gaming laptop with a 4070 in it. I know it's a laptop version of a 4070, but that's still a fucking 4070 and a decent Ryzen processor. And he spent like $800 on that. You know, like, you know, you get a
you must have got a really good deal on that, because that's
maybe it was like 900, but it was under $1,000. I was like, damn, I want to get that. So, and it was probably some shit PC. I mean, probably issues with that later on down the line. But that's the thing. Like, for that price, I would rather just save up and get a better gaming PC, because that's more important. I will get much more enjoyment out of a better gaming PC than I would out of a Switch 2.
I mean, what SMG says looks like a joke, but you can actually now get some pretty good pre-built PC with decent components from places like Costco for $800.
Yeah, absolutely, you can. You can get a pre-built PC from, like you said, from Best Buy or fucking Sam's Club or fucking shit like that. You can. You absolutely can get that.
Yeah, because in the past that wasn't the case, but it now is. So.
SMG Briber only touches grass when he taps green lands in his commander games. He's a green stompy player. I know Briber. I know Briber like the back of my hands.
Let me go on Best Buy right now.
Well, I mean, I know about what he what sort of games he likes to play when it comes to role-playing games. I know a bit more than I'd like to about that.
What? Wait, hold up. No, sorry, we can't make this about Briber.
No. No, he literally, I mean, there's recordings of it on my channel where Brian describes how in his Vampire the Masquerade game, everyone in the Council of Evil has sex with each other as werewolves and molestate children, and it's up to Brian and his friends to stop them from, like, it's really cringe. I've got a whole fucking stream you can see on it.
That actually sounds insane.
Oh no, it's incredibly fucking disturbed. I have Brian telling his audience all about how he fantasizes about.
Here's the thing.
I
just want
to evil having gay sex. It's pretty bad.
Here's the deal. Okay, I'm just gonna go off this AMD Ryzen 5 8400F. That's not even the best Ryzen, but it's a decent Ryzen CPU. An RTX 4060, which again isn't that great, but an RTX 4060 will get you to play most modern games. I'm pretty sure. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but
it's more powerful than a PS5 or an Xbox Series X. I'm pretty sure.
It might be more powerful, not be as powerful as the PS5 Pro or something, but it'll be more powerful.
No, not that one.
You can get a pre-built PC from Best Buy right now for $900 with a Ryzen 5 and a fucking and a 8GB and a fucking 4060 8GB version, which I'm not sure that's the best version. Probably a shit version of the 4060 or something. It might be a better version of the 4060 with more VRAM. But again, if you want to dip your toes into PC gaming right now for only $400 more, so essentially, because realistically, like, for essentially less than double the price, for $900 US, you can get a full gaming PC, and this comes with a full thing.
Well, but and literally everything.
I already have
literally everything with that. You can go through an entire backlog. You can emulate everything legally, of course, right? Ding.
Yeah, and this is just one example. There's tons of these things on here. And
I sent you a link to basically the Costco version of that. It sounds like it's the same PC almost, except it has an Intel processor instead of a Ryzen. I'd rather have the Ryzen one, personally.
I would go Ryzen 2, yeah. But I'm sure,
Wait.
And the thing is,
power-wise, is this thing... No, go ahead.
No, you go ahead, Rist. You go ahead. Not Rist.
Yeah, I was just going to say, power-wise, like...
I love
what is this thing equivalent to, we're guessing? Is it more powerful than a PS4?
Yes, it's more powerful than a Series X. It's more... The Switch 2 is more powerful.
Okay, so what I'm trying to think is how hard will it be to emulate this thing. That's what I'm wondering. Right now, we're emulating PS4.
I get what you're saying, yeah.
It'll be
I'm wondering,
the thing is, it depends on how complicated the architecture is, right? The reason why it's so hard to emulate something like PS3, right, or N64 even, is because the architecture is really complicated. It sounds like it's using a pretty standard NVIDIA processor. The Switch 1 is pretty easy to emulate, even though it's using even though all things considered. I would not be surprised if this thing is more powerful than people are giving it credit. This thing's going to be harder to emulate than the Switch 1 for sure, by a significant margin. So the game won't run. The Switch 2 games will not run Steam Deck, for example, because I think the Steam Deck the Steam Deck itself is underpowered compared to the Switch 2. So it's not going to happen.
Esoteric Archivism says you also get terrible PSUs in cases that pre-built slot, but you could just kit bash it, right?
But again, you could take the PSU out. I mean, like you could replace a PSU for like $50. So like what? For $950.
Are you looking at the CyberPower PC one, Google?
Let's see.
On Best Buy.
I'm looking at
also Esoteric Archivism. I don't take 100
Or
sentences. I just explain myself. Bungu.
Yeah.
But I love you. I love you, Esoteric Archivism.
I'm looking at the
my dog.
the
God
iBuyPower
bless you.
one with the 8400F, which I think is a bit better than 5500 Ryzen 5. Pretty sure it's a little bit newer CPU.
Yeah, because I know at least the CyberPower ones that they sell at Costco, they have decent components. People have done breakdowns on them. They're not the most amazing PSUs, but they're gold 80 plus ones, so they're decent from
if you get a
known
problem with
brand.
your PSU, just replace your PSU.
Exactly.
Right, if you think your PSU is going to be a problem, like, the PSU is a relatively inexpensive component in the computer, right? And the reality is, you could use this platform it's an investment, because within like a couple, you buy this now and replace the GPU on it, right? The CPU socket right there, you can replace the CPU if it's a Ryzen one up to probably a really good CPU. I know it's probably using the last gen, probably using the last gen Zen motherboard style, but again, I'm not saying this is like
the same socket, so it's compatible with newer ones, because I recently upgraded mine.
But like, all I'm saying is look at this one. Oh, no, that's not. I thought this said a 57.
Yeah, an 8000 Ryzen's AM5, so it'll be just fine with the 9000 series one if you want, a 9800X 3D or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. You can upgrade all this later, but for right now, you could play games right now on PC with a good fucking with a good fucking system, right? For like $1,000 basically, and that's brand new. It's not even going to used market. If you go used market, you can go well under $1,000. Right?
Yeah. The problem with PC, the only problem with PC really is if you go high end, it's ridiculous. It's $3,000 for a GPU, but that's obviously not this demographic. Most people.
Most games.
Yeah.
I'm
minting crypto. I'm minting crypto.
Most games, which the thing is, most games you want to play are going to be
bring SMG in.
Voice chat.
What? Bring SMG. Yeah,
SMG wants in a voice chat.
Yeah, I'll bring him in. One second.
Oh. No, don't.
It's not even
this
general.
man's is gonna say
but
some.
You gotta join the general voice chat, SMG, and then I'll bring you in.
Okay. Yeah. We got you. We got you from us.
But yeah, I'm coming in.
Just don't say some crazy shit about Bri.
Yeah, but don't
fuck
Brian Dunn. Man, I don't want to deal with that shit. No offense.
Yeah.
What's up, SMG?
No Bri shit.
SMG.
Yo, what's good, bro?
Going on,
guys?
Yo. How's avoiding ice going for you?
I don't have to worry about that. I'm from Fresno.
I totally believe you. I 100% believe you.
Yeah.
Really? Yeah, I really.
So
in Mexico, basically.
My parents came here legally in the 70s.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
How's hardcore doing?
And they party with Charles Manson or whatever.
Carlos is.
How's your girlfriend from Dualicious doing?
Carlos is actually
good.
I don't have a girlfriend from Dualicious, okay? That's not so nice to me.
You're a legal immigrant, Latina.
He has a girlfriend from Duolingo.
No, I don't have a Duolingo, Dualicious. Girlfriend from Duolingo.
Listen.
I'm sorry,
Anyway, Gahul. Can
Yes.
you hear me?
Yes.
You can't.
Okay, well, I just wanted to tell you that PC I bought off Best Buy, it cost me like $800 because it was on sale. It has the 4070 and it's been running everything great. Because I got into the PC. I decided to buy the PC after the fucking network went down on the PlayStation, and I couldn't play all the games I bought, and I just got pissed. I'm like, you know what? Fuck it, I'm done with consoles.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, fair enough. Completely fair.
I don't know jack shit about PC gaming. This computer's running fine and it plays everything at 1080p because I don't give a fuck about 4K. So it's fine. I just been buying cheap ass games. I haven't played Command and Conquer since high school, and I was like, oh my god, they have Command and Conquer in here. So I just bought that.
That's disrespectful to true American patriots who made Command and Conquer.
That's fine.
I am
not an American patriot. I am a Mexican that was born here that hates the United States, and I want it to be destroyed.
Right? Yeah, you're a foreign invader. You're a foreign invader. Look. He said it, not me.
That's fair.
Dot says Duolingo GF LMAO. All right, pen pals, pen pal relationships inflame
Did she get deported?
spontaneously. All right. All I'm saying. All right, I'd let everybody else talk.
That's fair.
Yeah, a piece of gaming it's way cheaper. You can get all those Command and Conquer games, 17 of them for $20 on Steam. Not on sale.
I got them when they were on Steam sale for like $10. So now I
We
have.
gotta get Brian here. We have to get Brian Dunn in here.
Brian Dunn won't come in here.
We need to get Power Gamer in here.
Look, hey, hold on.
Power Gamer, yes. Oh my God, no.
Brian Dunn is a coward who is afraid of me. Now, that's all that. Anyway,
He is a coward. I agree. He is a coward, and he is scared to come in here.
Yeah.
You know,
he's too busy pimping his daughter for magic cards. Anyway, Gahul.
Yes, I have heard that as well, that he pimped his daughter out for magic cards.
No, it's
not
over.
even gold ones.
Silver.
Over.
Oh my
God.
It's over.
Switch too. Like, if they don't drop the prices, dude, like, I'm abandoning Nintendo. And I'm old. I've had every Nintendo since I was a child. Like, I've literally had a Nintendo all my life.
Yeah, me too. I've been 100% Nintendo my whole life too.
No, but Gahul, you don't understand. I'm old as fuck. I've been there since the original Nintendo.
You're an old troon.
The only
you remember Richard Kayanka? I was. You remember you, Bull? Don't we know how they interact with each other? Viewers are dropping by the second. Fantastic.
Awesome.
This is exactly what we want.
Man, fuck the viewers. Gahul always says it. Fuck the chat. The chat can go screw.
Fuck the chat.
Everybody in chat's a fucking faggot, especially me.
Whoa, what? That's not so nice.
Anyway,
you shouldn't put yourself down.
Look, Gahul hates his audience, right? He hates them.
I think he just hates. He might just hate you. He might just hate you.
I'm with Gahul. Fuck the audience. Everyone in the chat is fucking gay.
Oh my God.
Everybody.
I love the chat.
Oh my God.
I love the chat.
We hate the chat here. This is anti-chat supremacy up in this bitch.
God.
We don't even want you watching the stream. Everybody in chat leave like right now. You know what? Report and flag this channel. I fucking dare you, pussy. You won't. You won't flag this channel. You fucking punks.
Call the action.
You bitches.
Call the action to report and
dare
flag
you,
Gahul's
motherfuckers.
channel, Griper.
You guys won't though, because you're all fucking scared. You're all too much of a coward to flag this channel right the fuck now at this exact time stamp where I said homophobic slurs. You won't. You fucking won't. Because you're too pussy. Who's a real one? He's out here calling out the fucking bullshit. He's out here challenging everyone to fight IRL. And where the fuck are you? You're not in a wheelchair.
He's encouraging. He's spreading love. He's spreading peace. He's spreading diversity.
So I'm just,
he's out here supporting Palestine because he says the Jewish repressors must be stopped.
You know, I'm looking at right. You know where I'm looking right now? I'm looking at Newegg.com to see what kind of GPUs and shit you can get off of fucking here, right? And we're talking like,
how is it?
You can get fucking $800 ones with 4060s, man. That's a 4060, I guess.
Yeah.
But like right now, get one right now and then upgrade to 4070 or 4080 later on. You know, you're good.
Well, no, my PC has the 4070. Like I said, it was the cheapest one I could find.
Yeah, and I don't see anything like that now. Obviously,
I got the dual monitor set up now. I'm like, oh, I feel like a real incel.
That's true.
When my wife comes by, I'm like, go away. I'm pretending to be an incel. Go away.
I have to sorry, I'm interjecting right here. Sidebar. Esoteric archivism. How the hell do you know to get into all the best streams? Are you just like, I just you don't have to give like don't give out your process, but just give us a little peek into it.
Esoteric archivism. All I gotta say is I love your channel. Thank you for documenting so much shit that gets lost in time, especially what that coward Brian Dunn wants to hide. Thank you. You provide a great service, and I salute you.
We love Bri. We love Bri here, especially me. I love Bri.
I can't respect Brian because he is allegedly pimping his daughter for magic cards. That is what I heard on the internet.
You can't say that.
It is a rumor. It is an outright unfounded rumor that I heard on the internet.
Brian Dunn pimping his
up.
daughter for magic cards.
Shut the fuck
Allegedly.
Well, I'll be sure to tell
Allegedly.
my
You know,
audience about
allegedly.
that.
We gotta walk it
You
back.
got-
I just gotta walk something back right quick before I want to close off the stream. So I'm really fucking tired. So I'll say goodnight pretty
Yeah,
soon.
walk
Okay,
it back.
that's
We
fine.
don't respect Brian around here.
We don't respect.
No,
Brian.
we do respect Brian
respect
around
Brian.
here. We love Brian around here.
Let me just make
Why-
something quick point.
Why is Liquid Dunn? Why is Liquid Dunn making the argument for solid Dunn?
If I go
All right,
on-
now I'll let you go, Gahul.
You
I'll
know,
let you
great
go. I
comparison
got
to
you.
a Switch 2. Okay. A great comparison to a Switch 2 is a gaming laptop.
Cog Life
actually.
said, I reported this stream, mate.
No.
Cog,
We've
you know
been
what,
chimney
Cog?
swept. We've
Cog,
been
you know what I
chimney
want you to
swept.
do? Listen, Cog, I want you, when you bang your fat Pakistani wife, to think of Gahul.
Okay.
Right, Cog? When you bang your fat curry-eating wife, you think of Gahul and the Switch
Well,
2, and how you
you
can
got me
never
back.
even afford a Switch 1 because you're poor.
Here's what I want to talk about the Switch 2 quick. Okay.
Those $900 going to his Pakistani wife's
Looking
wallet.
right now. Okay. I want to try and find gaming laptop on Best Buy for $900 US right now. You can get it.
Right.
A Ryzen 7 8845
Okay.
with a fucking 4070 for $900.
These things.
Is that a better deal? For $400 more, I get a fucking full game. It's got a screen, it's got a keyboard, it's got everything you need. I don't even fucking need to
Yeah,
buy any
but it's a
peripherals.
laptop, dude. Laptops fucking suck, and it's
So
easier
wait,
for the
That's
Dot,
true,
Dot,
that's true.
Dot, D Dot
That's true.
says her arms look like Donkey Kong's new fur. No. How sweaty.
Okay, that's all I wanted to say. I'm going to sleep, Gahul. You take it easy.
Yeah, T
I'm
Smash.
out.
Cannot. Yeah,
rest
we
in
have to
peace,
separate-
rest in peace, Coach Red Pill.
Yes.
All right,
God's
Only it was
all-
Brian
That's all
Dunn.
there with the hero.
If we could trade Coach Red Pill for Brian Dunn, we'd do it in a heartbeat.
I would do it
Fuck
in a
you,
second.
Brian.
Not
You
even-
deserve to be
we could
dead.
trade
Fuck you,
Coach
Brian.
Red Pill for Ben Shapiro and Steven
All right.
Chowder and all
Before
of
we
them.
go, can
Right.
we get a yeah?
Yeah.
Women
base.
are like dogs.
Oh, yeah. All right. God bless.
Andy Worski is 4 things.
Four things. Fact check true. Oh my God, this has been magical, fellas. This has been
Andy
magical.
Worski is the reason I know you, man.
That's
true. Anal
kind of
is the reason you know me,
insane.
to be fair, man.
I'm glad we're all.
What?
I'm glad we're all fans of the Kino Casino.
Whoa, buddy.
Oh,
Whoa,
fuck,
whoa,
buddy.
hold up a minute. Whoa, Shaggy. Whoa, Shagster. Whoa, Shagster, you gotta slow your roll there, buddy.
You know, it could have been the Kino
glittering
Casino.
lights.
Could have been the Kino Casino with the anal vape. That'd been great.
Anal Vape and Andy Worski? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, dude. He was kind of his co-host, not
Yeah.
co-host.
Mark
Vape
Mann,
kill himself?
He was the
Mark Mann and Andy
top
Worski?
orbiter.
We need to get
Why does Andy Worski attract so many people who want to give him money?
to get Anal Vape on the Kino Casino. We need to make it happen. It'll be an epic stream. It'll be an epic show. It'll be awesome.
What we need Anal Vape and Power Gamer 310. Well, Power Gamer especially.
No.
Power Gamer 310.
Hey, he had a new review the other day. It was actually pretty good.
Yeah, he keeps making good stuff. Makes good content.
He's fucking
He
awesome.
is
Power Gamer
consistent.
310. Go subscribe.
Is
His-
Power Gamer
Yeah,
going
chill
to
him.
Switch
Chill him a
too?
little bit. That should be
All right, I'm gonna
to
show him
everybody as an
Power Gamer 310. Go subscribe to Power Gamer 310. You have to
Subscribe
subscribe.
now.
to him. He's
Somebody
really
who's
good.
coherent.
He's at
chill him.
199 subscribers right now. He's one away from 200.
Subscribe
Yeah.
to Power Gamer right now, or you're fucking coward.
Subscribe to
If
Power
you become
Gamer
a
right
tier
now.
subscriber, he will molest you.
Yeah, who will
Well,
molest
that's-
you? Yeah, with the Power Gem, right? Cheat game conquer.
Mind Jewel. Which you
Dude.
can't get anymore. You missed the boat on that.
Wait, I
the boat.
missed the
fucked up hard.
fucking no.
I'm so stupid.
No,
I'm sure it'll come around again. I'm sure we'll find a way to get it again.
dude, it's not even funny. That thing is gonna be worth like $10,000. It's like $110,000.
I will not sell.
I iron hands, right, brother? Iron hands. It's only
All
going
right.
up.
I'm gonna get going. I have to go to sleep. I'm tired of shit. So,
All right.
I will say for everyone watching on the stream tonight, I will be
Hey.
on Ryan Roger Athay's show tomorrow night. So check out his channel for that.
What? No way. What the fucking no?
Yeah,
Why did
so-
you drop that on me?
Well, I'll be on the show tomorrow, so check that out. It'll be at 4 p.m. Eastern. So
Ryan Roger Athay. Yeah, Ryan Roger Athay. Check out Ryan Roger Athay's channel. He's
Yeah.
fucking Kino. He's fighting the woke mind virus. He has interacted with such illustrious figures as Smash JT and Grums.
Yeah.
The Grums guy is a little bit weird, but
He's a pedophile.
He is.
well, it is what it.
Yeah,
no,
Ryan,
I don't
you-
think.
What?
Yeah,
no,
you
I
didn't
don't
see
think
that?
the Grums guys.
Ryan Roger Athlete's a pedophile?
He was using
No,
the email address Pretty Little Girl 16 for all his accounts for years.
Who, Ryan Roger
I
Athletes?
No, Grums.
No,
Oh.
Grums. Well,
Okay, that's fair. Okay. I'm going on. I didn't know that. I thought Ryan Roger Athletes was just some guy. I didn't realize he was a fucking pedo, but he's
no,
not a
right?
pedo.
No.
He's fine.
Ryan
I was
Roger
talking about
Athletes.
Grums.
No,
I
Ryan
was
Roger
talking about
Athletes. No,
Grums,
it's not
not
Ryan Roger Athletes. It's the guy he
That's fair.
interacted
That's-
with.
that's
The dude he
fair.
interacted with is a little bit of a weirdo, but nobody knew that when he interacted with him. So
That's fair.
that's yeah. So Ryan Roger Athey is a good guy. Ryan Roger Athey has actually done a video on The Exceptional Detective. You can look that up.
Yes, I did. He did a video on me. He's a great guy. I'm excited to be on a show tomorrow. So everyone come by for that, and then I will see everyone then. But you guys have a good night. Peace.
Has Power Gamer got into 200 subs yet?
Power Gamer. Subscribe to Power Gamer.
Still at 199.
Power
We've seen
Gamer
one shot.
310. Power Gamer 310. Subscribe. Right? Juice.
Where's Power Gamer?
It's still 199. He needs some good marketing. Something. He needs to blow up.
He's actually good,
if we
too.
sent,
Yes,
if we
yes,
sent him to like
actually
Doug Walker, like sent like a link to his channel, or James, do you think they would like show him?
I think they would. He's
that
really
would be
good.
fucking awesome. That would be fucking awesome. He is like an actual like. I really liked what was the one? Well, he did on his other channel. Oh, we're off the air, right?
No,
we're off the air.
No, we're not off the fucking air. We're still streaming.
Oh, we're not off the fucking air. All right.
You think I'm so
Bye. Have a good time.
Good night, everyone.
No. Well.
Have a good
night.
night,
Everyone.
See you later. All right, and thank you, chat. It was nice talking to you. Have a great night. Sleep well. Juice.